Oh boy. Oh, Jeebus. Oh, man. Burr, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. Da, da, da. I guess I'm blah 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 blah. Oh. So yeah, I'm back. So I guess my chill out and do game design thing with people is going to turn into the Gomez Kitty Vet Bill donation drive. He is currently still at the vet.
I like you.
Oh, thank you, Real James Grimm, for subscribing. As you can see, the vet bill is substantial for such a deceptively small wound. But that's apparently how that shit goes. I don't know how great I'm gonna be at conversing with people, so I'm probably not gonna be able to do this right now today. I mean, I'm gonna continue to drive, obviously, but like for right now, I think I'm just gonna like chill for a bit online. Gory B movie and Emma the spooky astronaut should be joining us, and maybe Nick Spheres if she says yes, but that's always I don't know. I think Sundays are kind of bad for the Nick Spheres. Oh hey Emma, what's up? I'm trying to send you the Google Hangout. Oh, can't join. She's at work. Oh, that's too bad. Well, then who's this Emma that like Gory was talking about? I mean, I thought that was you. Maybe it's a different Emma. I better ask her then, because I assumed it was you. Did I hear about Movie Bob? I did not hear about Movie Bob.
There's Jack.
Oh, hey, Danny, what's up?
Not much.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Me too. He's spending the night. He's spending the night at the vet. We're gonna find out, how he's doing in a few hours. Hopefully, he should be okay because it's a flesh wound, so it should be all right. But still, I mean, like.
Did he tell you that? Did he go, Father, it is but a flesh wound?
It's but a flesh wound, like, well, I mean, like, if you saw any of the video tweets, like, he's obviously still pretty frisky. I'm just now worried I'm just worried about what could happen in surgery. And normally I'd be like, well, things are what they are. The chances are very slight and everything is okay. But I've had like a lot of fucking mortality and stress in July. Like July's fired. July is almost fired. Like I've had one almost death, 2 actual deaths, and just
about that.
Yeah, and then fucking and then we had a friend get evicted, so we had to help with that, and then we had to like get one of the dead friends shit out of his apartment,
Yeah.
and that just ended like yesterday.
That's what we
So
were talking about.
yeah, so I'm like super fucking stressed out. You know,
Imagine.
and now I got this like $1,000 vet bill that I got to deal with somehow, and I'm like, oh my god, you gotta be fucking kidding
That's
me!
what's so hard about it.
I got them
You know
heavy
what we
boobs,
went through
heavy
with
boobs,
Xavier when
dance
he
like
got
dying stars.
cancer.
I got them
Fair.
heavy boobs,
And
heavy
yeah,
boobs.
it was like every time we go in, it'd be another $1,000
I'm
vet
glad
bill.
Gomez
But
is
it's
okay,
like
but here's money
I
to
made
help
a
because
I
vet
made a
bills
pact
suck.
with him
Yeah, it's
And
when
commitment.
I
in a good
adopted
way.
him that you would be cared for, and I can't look at an animal that I adopted that I've cared for and say, well, I'm sorry, kiddo, it's too expensive, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you, Vasari chick. I unless it was Versace chick. I didn't.
Are you live?
Yeah. I'm live at the moment. Yeah. I was going to.
I didn't get a notification. Fuck YouTube.
Oh yeah. I guess YouTube's giving a shit. But
Yesterday,
yeah.
Wolfula, which I have the bell ring on you, I have the bell ring on Wolfula. It's like Dr. Wolfula's live, so of course I do what I do when like you or Wolfula go live. Drop what I'm doing, head on over there. It's halfway done. Like,
Yeah,
fuck you.
I need to actually. I've never actually hung out with Dr. Wolfula.
He is awesome. He's
Yeah.
I
really-
want to count Jackula, Dr. Wolfula, like 1940s style, like crossover, but still be
Like
as raunchy.
Dracula.
Oh, like Dracula meets the
Like,
Wolfman
I
kind of
want it to
shit.
look like that, like with the black and white and the effects to look like that, but I still want you to be modern, more risque personalities.
Oh man.
Emma's in the chat. She said she'd join too.
Actually, Emma said that she was at work. Like you
Oh.
misunderstood. She's one of those like I'd love to come, but
All right.
you know, like that kind of
So
jazz.
that's if she wanted to. She said it.
Yeah, she
I
said
love to. I guess that's
Totally different time zone.
all right. Makes more sense now. Hello.
Yeah,
Something's gonna translate well in text. I'd love to.
yeah,
So
love
that's
to,
the
but you know,
You'd love to. Why let's do it.
yeah.
So
Oh,
how
my
did
God.
Gomez get hurt?
We don't know. He is an indoor-outdoor cat. So anything, it's possible that it was like anything.
Yeah,
You know, the doctor suspects an abscess, but I'm like, well, we pet him pretty regularly, so I think we would have noticed an abscess.
Awfully sudden. If
Yeah. Like, you know, like what kind of abscess are we talking about? This like them Night of the Creeps abscesses or something? It's like Slither or something? Like what's going on?
Wells'
Yeah.
cat Kirby, little orange cat, that also known as Synopsis Cat on the Horror Addict show.
Oh no.
He loves to be clean, and on the surface he looks like he's like a little kind of prissy cat, but he is so hardcore.
he attacks our dogs all the time.
Oh my god.
Hides behind the wall and waits for them, and then jumps out and leaps on them. And then recently, a few months ago, he came back in, and he's like, "Look how gangster I am, bitches." He's got like a cut in his ear now,
That classic
God.
cartoon.
like the cartoon cats, where part of his ear is missing.
Little sliver.
Oh no.
I felt so bad for him, but
I don't know. He
He's
seems to
cute, so-
still want to go out there and spread his stuff. So
I know he does, doesn't he? I don't.
makes me a little nervous though, because the neighbor's dog is really vicious, and he likes to go up on the fence and just kind of look down at that dog like, ah. But it's like
Kirby
"Hey,
is
do not
afraid
fall
of
into that yard."
nothing, and if the dogs bark at something, the cat will go right up and he'll sniff it and he'll look it back at them like, "What are you guys going on about? It's just a human. We
Yeah.
could take him.
Our
Three
little
of us
dogs.
together."
Our little dogs. are
Have
like-
you not seen Strays? We could totally
Yes,
take
I
one of these
love
people,
Strays.
you know.
Strays and sleepwalkers and just
Oh my god, Sleepwalkers. That is a movie that you can only appreciate with distance.
Yeah.
Because when you first see that thing, you're like, oh my god, this is one of the worst horror movies I've ever fucking
Yeah, that was
watched.
not my experience. I was like, "This is amazing," but I
Yeah.
was like,
Well, like the only thing that it's really got going for it is the fact that it is a movie with a cat as the hero.
Yes, I love movies like that. Cat's Eye is great too. He kills
Yeah.
little-
Like
both of those
Cat's Eye and Sleepwalker make great double feature. You
Yes.
know, but man, I gotta tell you, like, nothing about the mythology of Sleepwalkers makes any goddamn sense.
It really doesn't. But did you know Sleepwalkers is getting a Scream Factory release here very soon?
Oh yeah, because that's what that fucking CGI needs is high def.
It's my favorite, Jack. It's my favorite werecat incest movie ever.
What are you talking about? My favorite werecat incest movie ever is the fucking remake of Cat People. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I guess that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Favorite werecat mother-son incest movie ever.
Okay, well you got me there because in Cat People it's like brother sister.
Cat People and the original are both very, very good.
Yeah.
But you gotta split some hairs there to get it to the mother.
Well, I love actually the original like Cat People is super cool.
Oh yeah, it is.
You know, because
it's kind of the whole Val Lewton thing where like there's the scare, you know, because you hear that growl and you think it's a panther.
Yeah.
The misdirection scare. That was really cool.
Which has gotten tired throughout the years, but hey,
it started it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the origin of like the jump scare is.
Well, like I love, speaking of kind of not a hero so much, but cats in movies. Alien, that cat scare.
Oh man, Jesus,
cat jumps out, but now every movie has done that to death. But in Alien, it was great.
Yeah. Well, it's like the cat scare is like a very specific like version of the jump scare.
Yeah.
You know, or the false scare. But I have to agree, like, unless you're doing a really cerebral movie, I love cerebral art house films. Like, I really fucking love them because to me, there are two versions of that. There are the kind of brilliant films that you never see otherwise. And then there is, oh my God, what a pretentious pile of fucking shit.
Exactly.
You know, there's not, it's kind of, for me, there's not a lot of in between.
No, and that's why they leave a mark either way.
Yeah. It's like for instance, like my favorite, right now, my favorite, like, art house horror movie is We Are the Flesh.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't that one yet, but that's the one that has Noe Hernandez in it.
Yeah.
Our brother-in-law is named Noe Hernandez.
My sister's married to a Noe Hernandez, so now she is Sierra Hernandez.
Oh my God.
We all watched this movie together, and then we found out that it's got like tons of orgies in it or something. We're like, maybe we should watch it with them.
Well, no, we're going to. As weird as that'll be. But...
Yeah, Gomez. Oh, by the way, just to answer someone's question, Gomez the kitty demon is in Kitty Hospital. Overnight. And man, it's an expensive visit, ain't gonna lie.
Well, one thing I was gonna suggest is when we were really hard up with Xavier, we did a GoFundMe and we also did a stream where we had his little picture there, and a lot of people helped us out. So
oh man, maybe I should put the kitty's picture up there.
Yeah, put Gomez's picture up and just say, hey, we can use some help for Gomez. So when these things happen, guys, it's for the moment, who the heck has money set aside for an accidental vet bill? And
oh my God, yeah, nobody.
As far as insurance,
nobody.
So
exactly.
Yeah, when your pets are hurting and you get a big vet bill, it hits you out of nowhere.
And the horror community is very tight, and we know that your slut pit loves you. So
yeah,
therefore they loves Gomez.
We had a discussion in the Gory Hole yesterday, our Discord, where everyone was like, "You just get like caught in the goo in the Gory Hole and you can't get out." It's like the slut pit, but it's a different kind of goo. I'm like, yeah, ours is more like the Far Beyond hot pink goo.
Yeah.
And Jack's is this milky white substance you don't want to ask the origin of.
You drowned in and it burns.
Okay, let me see if I can find a
like a Jack party. If I actually went to Jack's house, I have no idea what it's like. I know some of you do, but I imagine going to Jack's house and having a party is going to that party the end of society, which I just do not want to miss. I really want to be there for that.
That's what I shoot. That's what I shoot for. Like,
I just love that.
It's what I shoot for. Like, I was like a huge like raver back in the day, and so those are the environments I try to recreate. Because I wasn't ready to stop. It's just that the party ended before I did. And I've always really missed them. Yeah, nothing else to say about that. I just really miss them, and so I really like those types of that type of yeah. Sorry, now I'm not. Yeah, those kinds of shenanigans.
Yeah.
You know.
So what else is going on? Because you told me you were having a hard time before the cat with the vet.
God,
well,
yeah. I had the two friends died.
Friends?
Yeah, one close one, two that actually happened, and had to go to his apartment and
One
all
was
that
a
stuff.
suicide, right?
No. Neither was a suicide. Neither was a
Oh,
suicide. There
wow.
were two. There were two strokes. One was my buddy Anthony, which he recovered from, and then there was another stroke, which was John, the co-writer, who was also the co-writer of Metalocalypse. He died of a stroke. I knew him through Anthony, and man, that was freaky. Anthony was like, "Oh my god, he died of the same thing I had."
Jeez.
What the fuck, you know? Like, I guess some of us make it, some of us don't.
Mm.
And then, boop. And then, sorry. Then the hard one is that my friend Seth sure died, and he was a very close friend. It's very weird. Like, it's one of those odd things where
Oh, good.
God, I don't even.
I
Sorry.
had a close friend die recently, but I've had him die, and it's just, oh geez, it's like surreal.
It's super weird because, like, how to put it, okay, sorry, trying to find the words. Okay, Sesher was not a guy that he was not the guy who would show up and get turned up.
Oh, yeah.
He was super mellow. He's a super nice guy. If you needed someone who knew where the party was, he wasn't that dude. Despite the fact that he was a DJ, he really wasn't that dude. But he was always the dude you were glad showed up. And I feel bad because when he was alive, like, I would have been like, oh yeah, I like that guy. He's a friend. He's really a friend. But when he actually went, like, I felt it really hard. Like, I saw him like every couple of weeks, you know. And it was just always, I even despite, okay, so 2 years ago, he got like this fungal infection in his lungs. And he collapsed. They got, you know, he's in the hospital. He collapsed, and they had to put him in a medically induced coma so they could figure out what the fuck was going on because they didn't know at the time. And while he was in the medically induced coma, he had like 5 strokes.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, and they brought him out. They got him out. You know, started fixing him up. He's going through physical therapy. That was 2 years ago. So we all knew that there was a possibility that something might happen, but what we didn't think was going to happen is that just one night he was just going to die.
Yeesh.
Like, he was
The last time that he got sick?
no, this was he was well on the mend. You know, he was, you know, he's had some trouble walking, but, like, you know, lots of motherfuckers can walk with a cane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he and Linda were actually going to go check out a flick together, like that Saturday. You know, like no. The Saturday before, he had to cancel because he was feeling a little sick, but he was feeling a little sick.
Yeah, he didn't.
You know, not like, oh my god.
Not life or death.
Not
Yeah.
red flag type scenario that you would think.
No. And she was like, okay, well, tell you what, let's check out a movie on, like, Wednesday. And he was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then 5 hours later, he's just dead.
Yeesh.
He was found by his caretaker. He was sitting on the edge of his bed where he normally, like, took meals. The meal was untouched, but but it was, like, served like he cooked for himself.
So it was sick.
Yeah. So basically, he sat down and he either died standing up and collapsed backwards, or was like, oh, I'm feeling
I got
tired.
them heavy boobs, heavy boobs. It's like dying stars. I got them heavy
and he either
boobs,
like,
heavy boobs. I can't run real far.
oh, thank you, Dutch Chairman,
Here's
for
20
$20
for Gomez.
Thanks, man. And so he just like, he probably what happened. He was probably fucking tired. He just like, oh man,
I like you.
and he passed out. Boom, just done. Thank you, Gonzalo, for subscribing.
Anime.
Yeah.
That sounds
It's a sad story,
It's
but
like
like,
about,
I smiled because of what I
can't
saw
wait
in that. I was like,
Yeah. Well, like how to put it, like, you know,
Oh,
like,
sweet.
I have to set my life up so that there are occasionally boobs. That's why I married
Yeah.
Linda. Because like sometimes you just gotta be, you're just like sitting there and you're like, oh, it's a nice set of tits. Okay, life ain't all bad.
So I
Yeah.
sent you ones with the googly eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Jack needs to see those.
Oh man. But yeah. That's
If you want to donate, he can really use the help right now with Gomez's big vet bill.
Yes.
yeah.
On the mend.
Yeah. I. Oh jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what was that? The yeah, you can never count on tomorrow. Yeah, you never know. Joseph Young's like fungal pneumonia. Yeah. Fungal pneumonia. It's
Yeah.
not good.
You
It's
know, I was
real
curious,
bad.
like earlier this year, but right before we got our ban, like we had one of those times where it's like everything happened at once, and I got really sick, and I went to the doctor, and I had fucking shingles.
I got. Oh my god! I fucking had shingles
Wait,
back
I had
in fucking
shingles.
May.
I still have a big scar here, but I thought it was acne, and so I didn't go, and I was getting really sick, and I had a fever for like a long time, and I went to the doctor, and he's like, you should have come in a long time ago, because he said it's so close to your eye, you could have lost eyesight, and if it had gone the other way and gotten to your ear, you could have lost your ability to walk. You can't like fuck around with shingles.
Holy
I thought
shit!
it was a freaking like really painful acne, like
And then to hit close to home, we like, what? It was a Truth or Dare movie we went and saw. And
yeah.
like, they're like, oh, it said you had shingles on it. I was like, what? Who mentioned
Yeah, but
shingles
I
in a
mean,
movie like out of
You
nowhere?
never
know.
think being in your 30s that you're going to get something like that. And I just realized that, like anything, you know, you can get a heart attack, you can get hit by a bus. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there was
Yeah.
no promises.
My friend Turner had a heart attack at 30. If he hadn't had a roommate, he'd be dead.
Wow.
You know, he'd just be flat. He'd just be gone. You know, but it was one of those things where it was like he was sitting there. They had just come back from Fellowship of the Ring, and then he said some crazy ass shit and pitched forward.
Oh, wow.
You know, into the coffee table, and you know, his roommate's like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Are you breathing?" Oh shit! You know, 911. You know.
I just saw something, if you guys watch Game Theory, Matt Pat just posted something how his longtime editor from back when he was only at 10K, the guy who's been with him from the beginning, that guy committed suicide. So
I remember that. Yeah.
really important, the people that you value in your life, that you tell them that as much as you can, because you just
That's
never-
actually the one like thing we don't regret, because we did spend a lot of time.
I'm pretty good about that stuff. I'm pretty sappy, so I'm always like, I love you.
Yeah. It's like the one thing that you can say about, like, you know, being a big softie is if you're willing to just be around your friends, like, you don't regret that. Like, I remember, like, talking to my dad once, and you know, I was stressing out about this and that, but he goes to me, he's like, son, I'm gonna be real honest. Oh, thank you, Joseph Young.
Great job, Joseph.
Thank you.
I wish I had like one of those meters like they have on telephones.
I love how it's to chase the bullshit away.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the things that
I got them heavy boobs, dance like dying stars. I got
Hold on,
them
got
heavy
up.
boobs, heavy boobs. I can't run real far.
For Gomez and to chase the bullshit away.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. You know what? Let me get an event thing up here so I can more easily keep track of everything that's going on. Or OBS could just sit there and fart
We have
like an asshole.
Streamlabs OBS that has all that stuff kind of integrated.
Yeah. That's what I have. Like that. That's
that
what
was
I
really
have.
handy.
Yeah. let's see.
We can finally stream again. We were streaming right before this.
Yeah.
I know, like, oh my god, I can't believe, like, what even happened? What even caused that?
Night of the Lepus.
We did, you know how we do movie commentaries, and we've had you on a couple of them.
Yeah.
We did one of Night of the Lepus, which isn't a new movie by any stretch. And then I got a
Night of the
message
Lepus,
saying the
yeah.
stream is about to be terminated. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And then all of a sudden, everything shut down. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then it had a message
like
on it
dying
saying,
stars. I got them
90-day
heavy
ban
boobs,
for
heavy boobs.
violating
I can't run
ad
that far.
policy, blah, blah, blah.
45 for Gomez.
And then when the 90 days
Yeah.
ended a week ago, we didn't get to go back up right away. And then I had to contact support, and we finally got it up. But
Oh, Flashman's like 45 for Gomez. Shit, here's half. Oh, if only. If only. You might want to read that little thing again. Yeah, his vet bill is actually $1,000.
But very appreciated.
Oh, extremely appreciated. Extremely appreciated.
Yes, unfortunately, vets are a lot more expensive than they should be.
I know, right? Kind of
But-
wish that wouldn't the way
that's
it
so
worked.
America needs to raise its health care for not just people, but animals.
there needs to be something better for animals, because when we had Xavier, all three of our parents ended up dying of cancer. We knew about it with the two boys, and we're like, is there an insurance we can get on or something? Because they're going to need a lot of care, and we're not going to let them suffer. And they're like, unfortunately, no.
Well, if you have a ferret or any animal, you are at risk of your animal dying.
All right, so far you've got, I think, 62.50 for.
Now let's see if I can. Whoa! What is this? Hold on. Give me some. Don't give me some. All right.
Oh, you not the fancy stuff, Jackie.
But yeah,
Yeah.
shit.
I've never called you Jackie. I've never called you that before. It's weird. I'm never gonna do that again.
July's been tough on a lot of people. Jerry the King Lawler in wrestling, his son committed suicide today.
Wow.
Oh my
He hung
God,
himself in
really?
jail the same way my trainer killed himself a couple years back.
Jail? What the fuck? What got him in jail? What'd he do?
He got a DUI and then he resisted arrest. So
Oh my God! Like,
Yeah. took him in and hung himself while in jail apparently. So
oh my God!
that's what my trainer did. He was in jail.
Aaron
for-
says he doesn't think even a circumcision costs that much.
Oh,
We'll circumcise you for free, kiddo.
Some
Yeah.
people, some people just
I'll American marry that shit for you. Don't worry.
you go
I
into the
I
right.
got no skirmishes about dongs. I'm the dongstress.
You go in,
Bring it on in.
you go into the right back alley. They'll do it for free, and then they'll grill it up and feed it to you if you
Hey.
want.
He's a friend. Okay, we'll invite him inside like a human being.
Yeah,
Then we'll cut his dick.
they'll cut his dick.
Let's see. Flashman had like 22.50, and then there was 20 from Joseph Young, which looks like
You have a Bangkok slut pit. That sounds like a movie.
yeah. Oh, the guy from Bangkok.
Bangkok
Dude, Bangkok guy is here. Oh, awesome.
Bangkok
Oh.
guy.
Oh, thank you, Shade a Star. Oh,
For
donated
Gomez.
$10. Oh, thanks, man.
All right, so that's 72.50.
I think so. I'm about to add the 22 and the 22.50 and the $20 to the donation thing. I
Poor
hope-
Gomez. Was it hard to leave him there at the vet?
It was extremely hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so rough. I
We've left-
hate having to do
We've
that.
left our pets for like way lesser reasons. It's just like, but okay.
Yeah, that's about right. Just sort of like, oh God.
There's nothing you can do with your pets. My kid, they tried to get me to do that before, and I'm like, oh, fuck no, I'm staying. But I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jesus Christ, like, what do you, God damn it, like, what are you supposed to do? You know?
We'll send something when we get paid on the first. But never
I'll
right
help
now.
cover him. And right now, we're gonna do what we can to help raise him some money. You just
Yeah.
got.
Yeah, that would be, Danish Crones. Oh, thank you, fucking
Yeah,
Uskun.
I have an idea.
Oh, no, that's different currency, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's
know
okay.
how
It's
much
like
is the
different
American-
I don't
currency.
know how much that is in American.
balls. I don't know what SBK
I got
means.
them heavy
I need a
boobs,
fucking
heavy
money
boobs.
nutrition.
It's like dying stars. I got them heavy
Another
boobs,
250
heavy
from Black
boobs.
Man.
I can't run
You
real
donated on
far.
our channel too.
Here, Jack.
Yeah.
It ain't much, but
Flashman
hope
is the
it'll
shit.
help.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. I really appreciate it.
Laws would approve because
Alright,
Flashman
so I got an
is,
idea.
Mega Man
I got
character.
an idea because thinking outside the box is kind of what I do, Jack. Right? I
Okay.
think we should give them like an incentive.
I think outside her box.
Thank you, hello. So we're gonna give them like something fun we can do if they donate. Like, I don't know.
Even 25.
Dan will take off his shirt for $10.
No, we can't do that. I already got fucking
I know,
like.
Isn't that how you got in trouble with Twitch?
I got in trouble with Twitch for doing that shit. You know, like,
But
god
we gotta
damn
come
it.
up with something like maybe we could do like a truth or dare game or something, or like we'll do the rabbit or Cabbage Patch or something.
Who knows?
Well, I could actually that might be a fun thing to do, which is might. Yeah, there are a lot of movies I wouldn't mind like watching with people. But I don't know how to say it other than I'd want to watch the really fucked up ones.
So?
Yeah,
Like,
if you reach your goal, you could
love
do like a
watching,
rabbit commentary of a really fucked up movie.
She's working on her Gozu review right now.
Oh my god, have you seen Gozu?
Gozu? How do you spell it?
Gozu. Jack,
Gozu.
just editing this review is fucking me up. Hardcore.
Okay, I gotta. Alright, not Kuzo, but Gozu.
Gozu.
Gozu. It's by
Okay.
far the most fucked up fucking movie I've ever fucking seen, and I've seen some fucked up shit, dude.
It's pretty
Okay.
fun.
I consider Greasy Strangler a heartwarming experience.
Yeah, it is.
So when
It is.
When I say it's fucked up, guys, it's fucked up, okay? I saw the artistic value in Serbian film. When I say it's fucked up, it's fucked up.
And
Okay, so check this out. I'm just gonna give you the fucking highlights here. We've got breast milk all over this fucking thing. There's breast milk out of the old lady tea. There's a woman breastfeeding her brother. There's breast milk
Biddy.
from the ceiling. Biddy. There is a child with a kind of half chub wearing a cow head. There's a cow licking a guy's face. There's a woman who claims to be a guy's brother reincarnated in his body who wants to fuck him. There's an old guy who's a mafia boss who needs to have a spoon up his asshole in order to get it up. And then a woman gives birth to a fully grown man.
just the beginning. Isn't that the most
Oh.
fucked up?
Oh, in the beginning,
Oh,
the guy.
man.
Okay, this is how it starts. Jack, you would be sucked in just by the beginning. So, in the beginning, the Yakuza are meeting in this restaurant. And one of the lieutenants goes to his boss. He says, everything I'm about to tell you is a joke. And he's completely serious. He says, that dog over there, and he points to the cutest, fluffiest little chihuahua. He says, that is a Yakuza attack dog, specifically engineered to kill Yakuza. He's like, we need to take it out before it takes us out. He goes out there. He takes this tiny dog out from the two women who are holding it. He smushes it into the ground. He slams it against the wall. He lassos it around. Like, at this point, like, I think the director did that on purpose because, like, anybody who's like, oh, fuck this movie, I'm leaving.
Holy
like,
shit, there's a man having sex with a goat in this thing?
A spoon in
No.
his ass.
There's a spoon in his ass, though.
Oh, okay. So like a goat is just like licking him while he's got a spoon in his
He's
ass?
got a cow.
It's a cow
Gozu
licking-
Oh, it's a
is
cow.
Japanese for cow head.
Yeah.
Okay. That's starting to make a little more sense now.
Your chat is like, what the fuck, Corey?
And I recently just posted the review of Guar's Phallus in Wonderland.
Oh, Phallus in Wonderland. I love that movie.
And normally we get really upset when YouTube's like, okay, you get the yellow because this is not good for all things. And I had to kind of like, couldn't really
Yeah,
argue with
fair
that one. I
enough.
was like, okay.
Well, yeah. That's one of those like,
Little cereals.
yeah. It's a Guar movie. You're like, all right, that's fair. You know. Like,
DK is the guy who brought us Audition, Ichi the Killer, Happiness of the Katakuris. So if you want to see my thoughts on that, check out Horror Addicts. The review should be up, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, we're almost done with that. We got plenty to tide you over until then.
But yeah, I gotta take a break when I'm editing that. I'm like, dude, this is too gross even for me, and I got a strong stomach. Sorry, I'm eating pie. I'm really hungry.
She's got.
oh, it's okay.
We
It's
went out to dinner.
okay. It's
full there.
totally okay. If two bum.
Listen, pie. Pie for me.
Oh man. right, let me just make sure I did this right. Because there's a very high chance I did this wrong. I did do it wrong.
What are you doing, Jack?
Oh, hold on.
Seen that episode of Mike Tyson Mysteries where he goes to the pie shop? He's supposed to be on a diet, but he just goes to the pie shop and orders every pie. And then he's also eating a stick of butter, and he's like, "It's my cheat day." It's like, it's the first day. He's like, "Well, it's non-salted." And then he looks down and he's like, "Oh shit, the shit is salted," and he throws it to the ground.
Look at Mike Tyson Mysteries. I love it during the credits when it's just Mike Tyson sitting there being Mike Tyson.
He'll just say something that's fairly related.
Eat it.
Well, like, oh god, like, I feel sometimes like Pigeon is my spirit animal. Like, that's who I would be. That's who I am in that cartoon.
Animal,
yeah, it's just sort of like everyone just disappears into a teleportation hole, and he's just like, well, I guess I'll just jack off on those silk throw pillows.
Or where they're all ghosts and they go into the coma woman's head. And then he's like, well, if I'm going to enter a woman, I'm going to do it the God way, like the way God intended. But he's like, oh, because earlier he said, like, she probably has a huge bush. What? I love a woman with a huge bush. But then when he goes in, he's like, oh, man, this might be too much of a good thing. Fucking love Norm Macdonald.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Funny because Mike Tyson's never actually met Norm Macdonald, even though they're on the same show.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
He's like, well, I thought I met him, but then I turned out I just met the guy who plays the ghost a couple of times. He's like, I thought that was Norm Macdonald.
How weird is it that the ghost is ripped and kind of hot naked? Like, I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have guessed the pigeon would have a bigger dick.
Well, when you see...
Holy shit! Hold on. Pause. We have to tell Jack about something. Jack, you need to Google bird, do you want to see my pecker? Trust me, it's gold.
Bird, do you want to see my pecker?
Yeah.
In fact, you might want to show this to everyone.
Yeah, you might want to. It's like the best thing ever. I think if you do that, okay, so then you'll see like a little animated video. I think you'll get it. Is there like a little blue bird?
I see something called Trip Tank. Comedy Central. Okay,
Yeah,
I am assuming that because that I can.
Some money in the kitty
You
for
need to
your
watch
kitty
that.
count.
Oh, great! Thanks, Crazy Carl. I appreciate that.
Yay, Crazy Carl!
Horns, my friend.
Honey, shake your butt or something. Earn that paycheck.
They don't want to see my ass.
But for the cat.
For the kitty.
They don't want to see your bare ass, but they want to see you shake it. I mean, come on.
Dude, let me be real fucking honest. If YouTube or Twitch would let me get away with it, I would totally do that. I'm not proud. I'm not too proud, you know. Oh, you thought you came here thinking that you're watching a man with dignity? No.
Well, Jack.
So we could totally have Danny do like goodbye horses and shit for you.
I've already done goodbye horses. Oh, yeah.
I know.
Jack,
we had Brocky do that in a very early video.
Jack, have you heard about how like you can go to like certain movie theaters that they have like a little lake or a pool where you can watch Jaws while like sitting on a raft and stuff?
Yes, that sounds amazing.
We have one of that here in Olympia, our state capital, but it's at a nudist colony.
And that's the thing. I want to see Jaws in the water, and I have nothing against nudists, but I am way too fucking scared to watch that movie naked. I just can't fucking do it. I feel too vulnerable. Too vulnerable. Like my cootie, like hanging in the water, all ready to get eaten by a shark. Fuck that shit.
Might be getting eaten by somebody.
Like, what if your dog is just hanging there like a beautiful little worm on the end of a bait hook, just ready to get chomped by a Jaws? I couldn't handle that, hon. I would let you die before I let a shark eat your dog.
I would kill myself if a shark ate my dog.
I would kill you. If a shark ate your dog, I'd be like, this is a mercy killing.
Yes. I don't.
All right, I'm gonna check out the small Sema Pecker. A minute and a half.
Oh, hey.
You want to see my pecker?
Freeze.
Is that your beak?
You want to see my pecker?
Is that your beak?
You want to see my pecker?
Are you talking about your beak?
You want to see it? You want to see my pecker?
Yeah, sure.
There it is.
Oh, God.
You want to see it again?
No, go away.
You want to see my pecker again?
Shoo, leave.
You want to see my pecker?
No, I never want to see your pecker again.
Come on, I'll take you home.
What?
Take you to your world if you look at my pack.
I mean my world.
Burned.
Oh, whoa, what is that?
That's a Uranus star.
That's not possible.
Because in this world, hey, you want to see my packer?
Yes.
You want to see my packer?
Yes.
Unicorn shark.
Oh, please, God, yes.
Yes.
Where is it?
It's my beak.
Oh, God. Please, show me your dick.
That's nasty. You're a pervert.
You started all this.
So you want to see my packer?
Yes, please.
My beak.
Here it is.
Oh,
Again?
no.
Want to see my packer?
No.
Oh, come on. It'll keep your head from exploding.
Are you serious?
You want to see my packer?
I like how he rolls it back up.
No. The dong to bird ratio is wonderful.
What's this one called? Scorpion Dick. I think I
Scorpion dick?
Yeah.
I'll just check that out too.
I have not seen that, but oh my god, I want to watch that.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's get this.
Are we gonna watch it now?
Yeah. We're gonna watch it now.
Boom.
Bam. Apparently, here. Let's just get some link in that show messages thing. There you go. All right. You got that link?
I don't see.
Wave the little mouse in the lower left-hand corner of the Google.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hold on, it's got an ad.
Oh.
You won't let us skip it either.
It's dumb.
Oh. Well, hold. I'll wait. I'll wait.
Buy an iPhone 8.
I don't want to buy an iPhone 8.
Well, T-Mobile says to.
Well, I probably need to.
All right, we're ready.
All right.
All right.
Godzilla.
Hold on.
What's
All
that?
right.
Here's
3,
money
2,
for
1.
Gomez. Sorry you have to deal with Bill
Wait,
nonsense.
what?
He said it.
Come on. I think I got wrong.
Scorpion.
They're bringing me a costume. Look at this. That's like on my bucket list.
You should draw Godzilla the dog.
I gotta finish my satanic Jackula.
Whoa!
It's his dick, all
Is
right.
that your dick? What the hell is that? I'm saying, is that right there, between your legs? Is that your dick?
No, it's my red diamond scorpion tail.
I don't know, man. It looks a lot like a dick. What? It's not really cool to whip out your dick while we're.
It is a dick.
It's not a dick. Watch this.
Oh my god!
If anything, I'm more curious.
That is so a dick.
It's an energy weapon.
Let's see with that dick.
Sorry, there's a short refractory period between blasts.
Please don't say refractory.
Quit stalling and meet your fate, King Loga! Red diamond, scorpion tail, enter Mega Mode.
No.
Wow, that is the most
Mega Mode 9.
thing I've ever
Whoa!
seen. And I fought Dickulon. Look, I think I'm just gonna go.
Yes,
Okay.
come.
The city is safe once again. King Loga has been defeated by battle match.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry. Excuse me. For the record, I wasn't defeated. I'm leaving because it got weird.
Kind of like being defeated,
Really
though. I mean,
did get weird.
he did defeat him, just not in the way you'd expect.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's special.
That was a special moment.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow. That's all like a little dick humor.
Oh, yeah. You should
Yeah.
definitely do Godzilla as a dog.
I really should.
You need to get back.
I have
Dongzilla.
a satanic Jackula in progress in my dick folder.
Is he wearing the hat?
Oh.
Yeah, go check it out.
Cool.
It's in my dick portfolio down there.
Your dick portfolio.
Yeah, it's a dick portfolio. Do you
Very
know-
professional. Dick
Actually, it is a professional dick
I'm
portfolio.
not saying it's not. I'm
and
saying it
amongst
is.
other dong enthusiasts, is actually really well respected. Okay,
Which one is it?
which one is it? It's the giant big red dick folder. Damn.
Yeah. Apparently. I did
Is
not
it
know
not
that.
here? You can't miss it. It's huge.
I don't know. Which one is it? Oh, it was behind the
I
stuff.
told you, it's the one that says XL on it, honey.
Because XL dongs.
Let's see,
Huh?
Justin's
Yeah,
like, hey, do you have a tip jar or something I can blast on Twitter to...
Yeah,
Oh, there
it's
you
not
go.
done yet, though, but I've been working on this.
Oh my... Aww.
Captured
And
it
yes,
pretty nicely there.
She did say dong enthusiast, Mr. X313.
Well,
It's gonna be great when it's done. You know what else I'm working on?
What?
A xenomorph, and check it. He's got an extra dong in his mouth.
yeah. He's xenomorph with a dong mouth.
Oh, that's gonna be huge on all the dong enthusiasm pages and in dong net. That's we'll be working on a sand dong.
There's a big convention for all dong enthusiasts.
Oh yeah, no, we all get together. We all get together and there's just like
together.
horror too.
Get
but
together
just
and like dong it up.
dong, dong, dong,
Dongs in
yeah.
every direction.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Oh my
Sounds
god.
like a very sticky time.
It really is, but it's sticky in a heartwarming way.
I just saw myself. Oh,
That was
boy.
pretty cute, hon.
Oh.
You think you're a dick enthusiast?
No, I only like I barely tolerate my own junk.
You?
It's the only junk I care about. Like I don't like. As for Jack, I don't wish ill upon his junk by any means. But
Why would you do that?
Well, it's no,
his
no. I know what you mean. I get what you mean. You know, it's like no. Although
I pour out
someone,
a beer every time I hear about something horrible happening to someone's junk. That's fucked up.
yeah, someone was actually. Oh yeah, no. Gomez is gonna hate being stuck indoors. He's gonna hate it. It's gonna be bad. He's gonna have a cone of shame and everything.
Brewster just had one of those when he got neutered.
yeah, a coat of shame.
Oh,
Because he kept trying to lick his stitches. It's bad for him.
no matter what we did with Gomez when he got neutered, that cone was not staying on. I am expecting a repeat.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Maybe if you put some sour apple stuff inside of it, he won't try and fuck with it because they hate that.
Or just get him some catnip and hopefully.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing you can do around the stitches, like not on the stitches. If you put like bitter apple stuff, you can get it at the pet store. They hate that.
They won't.
He won't lick it.
Bitter apple spray for pets.
So if you want to avoid the cone of shame and just put some bitter apple around it, he won't lick it because they hate this taste of bitter apple
It works on all pets, basically.
or just any kind of citrusy
Well,
taste.
the thing is, this is right behind his ear.
Mm-hmm.
So the big problem is scratching it.
Yeah.
Oh
You're
yeah.
gonna probably do that.
Oh poor thing.
Poor kitty.
Yeah.
I just hope that the other guy looks worse.
Yeah, me too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I seem to be getting some echo from your mic.
Oh, it's because we don't have headphones on, probably.
Ah.
No headphones for you.
No headphones for me.
Why do you say it all weird?
I don't know. Did I say it all weird?
Yeah, you're like, no headphones for me. Like,
Was that not
"Good
English?
morning. Hello, governor. No headphones for me.
What
Like,
day
things
is
like
it?
that. Why,
Oh, it's Christmas Day.
Saint Swimming's Day.
All right, you need headphones,
Replied
my love.
Aunt Helga. All right, I'll be right back. How are you doing?
Good morrow, Daniel.
I bid you good morrow.
Yeah, you bid me good morrow. Alrighty, let's get these headphones on. What? Holy shit, I have an idea, Jack.
What?
Okay. All right, I got you, man. I got you. I just thought outside the box and I just came up with something fucking great. If
Okay.
you get, I don't know what that one currency was. So I can't tell how much you are in American dollars. But the next $20 donation you get, you will rap.
Rap.
Rap?
Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious because you're a white Chinese guy.
Plug me in.
What would I rap? I can't even freestyle.
Rap about cat love. Like, I
Oh.
really like cats. Sometimes I chase rats. Crawling Nova Town, they got it
You
going
just gave it
down.
away for
Oh my
free
God.
now.
Yeah, just help you out. You can just make up a rap. Simple.
Or don't.
Oh man.
Or don't.
Work around. Oh, jeez. I think I'm just gonna
Have some angry
Angry
orchard.
Orchard.
have some angry orchard rose.
Oh, honey, we need more beer.
Ah.
You have to take this pie away from me because I'm just gonna fucking keep eating it even though I'm not hungry.
Fine.
Okay. So, by the way, I gotta ask, have you guys seen any of the episodes of Castle Rock?
No.
No, everyone keeps asking us. We don't have Hulu.
We're gonna finish Luke Cage, and then Castle Rock is next.
Yeah.
We don't have Hulu. Are we gonna sign up for Hulu?
Now, is it only on Hulu?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
What the fuck else is there to watch on Hulu?
The Mick, but we already watched it.
Yeah, we already finished that shit. How is it? Is it good?
There are only 3 episodes in, but so far it's pretty fucking good.
Okay, so tell me about it. Is it like a Stephen King universe? Are we seeing the characters or just people who've been in the movies? I know that Sissy Spacek and Skarsgård are in it, but they're not playing their characters they played in the movies. So.
Right. Okay, so the guy who played Stick in Daredevil is playing Officer Pendergast or Porterman. God damn it! Hey, hon, babe. Ow, fuck. Ow.
What?
The cop in the Dark Half. What was his name again? Pangborn. Yeah, Pangborn. Gorn? Born. Pangborn. Alan Pangborn, who is in The Dark Half and is also in Needful Things. He is a character in the story. But it's obviously been a while. And the way they're playing it off is that most of that shit happened when the movies came out. So like Cujo happened in the 80s, Needful Things happened in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
You know, The Dark Half happened in the late 80s, like shit.
What
like
about
that.
it? Where there was a movie last year?
It well, they have not introduced it because they're not in Derry, they're in Castle Rock.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but the body, aka Lean on Stand By Me, has been referenced.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm also expecting that fucking what was it? Pet Sematary will probably also come up.
Have they mentioned, because I know it's not in Castle Rock, but like in Cujo they mentioned, because it's very close to
Cujo
Castle
has
Rock.
been mentioned. Cujo's been
Yeah, and
mentioned.
that wasn't in Castle Rock, but it was nearby. But
No. Cujo was in Castle Rock.
Was it?
I don't remember that, but
Yeah.
I
Cujo's
believe
part of Castle Rock. It's
but
part of
in
Castle
the
Rock
beginning of
stories.
Cujo, they did mention the Black Prom with Carrie, so I know that's nearby.
Yeah. Where they haven't mentioned the Carrie yet, but it looks like they're going to. The Shining has come up.
That's weird. That's all the way over in Colorado.
Yeah. Because one of the main characters is named Torrance.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
Well, I noticed that into Hanscom is a last name in both Carrie and in It.
Yeah.
So I wonder if those characters are related. They never really.
Well, and if you really
I believe they are
expand it,
actually.
part of how Joe
I think
Hill,
that's actually where Ben moved from.
Stephen King's son Joe Hill wanted to keep under wraps who Stephen King's kid because he wanted to be published on his own merit and not because of his famous father.
Yeah.
Yep.
But a lot of people were like, one, style is pretty fucking similar. And even Stephen King has said, he said, if I died today, my son Joe could finish my book and you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
But on top of that, if you read his books, there are lots of Stephen King references in Horns, in Nosferatu.
They kind of take place in the same multiverse.
Yeah, there are tons of references. You're like, this is either something he's obsessed with Stephen King or clearly his offspring.
Yes.
Or, oh man, have you ever seen any? There are a lot of Stephen King references in Lock and Key as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
What
particularly
I
in
love
the
that
covers.
Joe Hill added though is he has this thing, and it's within all his books, and it's something unique to his universe, separate from his father's universe, where there are doorways that transport you. In Nosferatu, there's a doorway that takes you from a bridge to Christmas Land, which is fucking scary. One of the best fucking things I've ever read. I need that in a movie. But in Horns, it's in the treehouse. There's actually a doorway there.
It kind of reminds me of Scott Pilgrim.
Obviously, in Lock and Key, it's a huge part of that. And so I would think it'd be really cool if somehow they could bring that into that as well, because they're neighboring kind of universes, Joe Hill's and his father.
Yeah. Here are the things that have come up. Bag of Bones also came up.
Oh, yeah? What about Bag of Bones? The author or his books?
Well, it's been mentioned. Like the shit that happened in those books has been mentioned.
Okay.
There are references to it, but we're trying to figure out how. But they haven't really gone into it. It's one of those things where it is referenced in the opening title sequence.
Well, and it is related to the Crimson King from the Dark Tower. So I mean, it expands beyond just it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, one of the things that's really interesting. Okay, so the basic setup is this. This dude commits suicide, and it turns out he is the head of Shawshank Prison.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Because Shawshank's in Castle Rock.
Yeah.
And they realize that there's been a whole wing of the fucking prison that has been shut down for 30 fucking years. And so they're like, what the fuck? He kept this thing shut down for 30 fucking Christ. All right, well, look, we're overcrowded. Let's go down there and see what we can do. So they go down there and they find a guy kept in a cage. That's Skarsgård's character.
Okay.
And he doesn't talk. And he's obviously been kept in this cage by the guy who killed himself. And the prison's like, oh shit, we gotta cover this up because, like, we didn't do it, but if we don't cover it, it's a classic, like, Stephen King dick person move, which is, I didn't do it, but if I don't cover it up, I'm in trouble. So, fuck everything. Fuck everyone. And as the show goes on, there is this question as to who this kid is. And they have not answered that yet. All you know is that the guy's keeping him down there for a reason. Like, there's some fucking reason, and the reason is that he believes the kid is the source of the evil in the town.
Do you think this kid's supernatural?
They believe so, but we're only in the early stages, so nothing too terribly weird has happened yet.
Have you seen Sissy Spacek yet in it? Because I know she.
Oh yeah, she shows up in the first
episode.
Play? She plays the main character's mom.
Oh, okay.
All right, so the absolute main character, the guy that we're really following, is this black guy who's brought back to Castle Rock because the kid in the cage says his name. And they're like, who? And one guy's like, this guy's saying his name is, Henry Matthew. I forget his last name because I've only seen I only started watching it today. And one guy's like, that ain't him. He's like, what do you mean that's not him? And he's like, oh man, you're new in town, aren't you? And then they kind of cut away. Oh, by the way, the Shawshank Prison is in fact the same one from Shawshank Redemption. Like, they reference the events of Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah.
You know? Oh yeah, they do.
Anything from The Stand in there? That's like
The Stand?
Across the world, yeah.
Well, here's the thing: The Stand wouldn't have happened yet.
Yeah. It's almost like in the end of the timeline, if you really like.
So that one wouldn't be when the movies took place because it couldn't because of the apocalypse.
Yeah, although I am wondering if it's going to end up there because I'm kind of half wondering whether or not Bill Skarsgård is playing the kid.
That's what I'm wondering though, is if characters are from there introduced, you can easily have one of those characters in there, and there's a whole bunch of people. Joe Bob Briggs was in the movie The Stand. You should get him. Yeah. They should get him.
Well, Mr. Gaunt has been referenced.
Okay.
Like Needful, it's been. They haven't explained how, but it has been established that needful things happened.
Okay. What do you want to see in this from the Stephen King universe?
First of all, I definitely want to see Mr. Gaunt show up.
Cool.
Because some of the story is told in flashback, and so you're flashing back, and you're like, oh shit, that's that short story.
Yeah.
That's how they're doing it. Like, they're creating a timeline, but because the movie is set both in the past, the present, and the ancient history of the town. Like a bunch of Stephen King stories are showing up. One I really want to see is The Mist.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
I really
hard
wanna
to
see
do
The
because that was
Mist.
like an apocalyptic event, especially in the book.
Yeah, but I want to see that. I like at least I want like something like Operation Arrowhead to be
Okay, yeah.
referenced.
Yeah, something.
So
Yeah.
here's another question. Let's look at all of Stephen King's work. What is the most scared you've ever been by Stephen King's work?
Probably the most scared I ever was the monkey. That was the one that actually like fucking scared me. Most Stephen King stories don't scare me. They horrify me. But I'm not usually scared.
Yeah.
Like I would say of the novels, it was the scariest. Like
Pretty fucking creepy.
it is super good. But other than that, like not really. Like I didn't think Salem's Lot was particularly frightening.
God, that part though, where you find out like the trailer park scene in that book is fucking gold.
Oh yeah.
That was like, you went there and I am so fucking proud of you.
Good.
Don't fucking cut corners. Like that was amazing.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, read the book. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Even in the Tommyknockers novel, they reference Pennywise because the kids all have a collective alien mind, like everybody does, but the kids are able to get away from it for long enough to go on a battery haul. So they go to Derry, which is the nearby town to Haven.
Yeah.
They think they're like, because they're so far away from the rest of the hive mind that they're starting to hallucinate and get sick. When they see Pennywise, a clown with silver dollar eyes, and looking at him out of a storm drain, and they're like, oh, we're sick. We need to really get back to Haven. So,
Which book was that? Which story was that?
The Tommyknockers.
The Tommyknockers. That's
Yeah.
right.
Which, by the way,
God.
if you get the audiobook, it's read by Edward Herman, the guy who plays the lead vampire in Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. My big problem is I actually don't like the Tommyknockers.
Yeah.
That book fucking pissed me off.
The Coke machine.
It wasn't the Coke machine. It wasn't any of that shit. It was just, oh my god, this is an 1,100 page novel about digging.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It's a lot of fucking digging, and you're just like, all right, I understand everyone's motivation for digging, so I kind of just want to get on to what the digging is about.
It picks up when the shit finally hits the fan, but yeah, it takes a while to really get there. I have to admit.
Yeah, it really does.
And there's a lot of backstory of like the guy's a poet and he goes on these weird poet things where he gets drunk and fights people with umbrellas, but it has nothing to do with the actual plot. So
Still not as bad as the distracting backstory in The Shining where they pick up the box.
Oh, and they
it's
talk about
like fucking forever of shit you don't need to know about.
there was some gangsters.
Yeah, but
here.
at least The Shining is only like 300 pages.
Yeah, it's a lot smaller.
This is true.
So.
You know,
I think
it's
the most scared I've ever been by Stephen King's work, and this one would be the movie, but the first time I remember being really scared was the movie Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
When you see Zelda like going, Rachel,
Oh, God.
that scared the shit
oh
out of
yeah,
me.
it's the most horrifying part of that movie.
As far as his written work, what scared me the most was, I believe it's in Skeleton Crew, the short story The Boogeyman, where the door is open just a crack.
Yeah.
And first he gets his children, and then he gets his wife, and then at the end he finds out it's the therapist. Oh, sweet baby
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
To this day, my closet cannot be open just
Yeah.
a crack. It has to be closed all the way.
Yeah, oh Moth, yeah, you can donate over Super Chat or through the Streamlabs link in the stream's description. You know, either way, you know. And I'm sorry that like your anxiety's been getting you. I actually have been reading the chat. I just wasn't sure what to say, you know. But big hugs, you know. It'll get better, you know.
Oh no, we love you, man. No.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking. I remember that Zelda scene. That was some crazy shit. Oh, the other thing. that I'm wondering if they're gonna fucking reference is the Wendigo.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there is a very, very strong indication that one of the things in Castle Rock is the Wendigo from Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're like, "There's no Wendigo in Pet Cemetery," well, that it's
Mm.
not.
They talk about it when they go.
They
up to
talk
Wayne
about it
Hammer.
in the book a lot, but it never actually shows up.
They
Mhm.
talk about it. It's just like if you watch Cujo and then the
Yeah,
guy who
it
was
shows up in
killed
Cujo too.
Well, and also the guy who's killed in Dead Zone is believed, the killer is believed to be having possessed the dog. It's not just rabies. He's possessed by the spirit of the serial killer. But if you haven't read the book, you wouldn't even get that connection.
And
Yeah,
like the Wendigo and stuff, Stephen King, I love him, but he would set up for things. Sometimes he would forget about it a little later. Like he doesn't even remember writing Cujo at all. Like,
Yeah, he was on a coke bit.
He was like-
said that was really sad because he enjoys that book. And he says, "I wish I could remember having written it."
Yeah, and then
Would be
like
great.
for Christine, he was like, it was all from one guy's point of view, but then he's like, oh shit, I gotta switch it now because he wrote himself into a corner, and it's how it was sometimes. But doesn't mean it wasn't good. It just means that.
I do cocaine.
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
God.
Okay.
he's a lot of cocaine.
So
Oh my
Sometimes-
God.
it's like some of that stuff it would leave you wanting more. Like, hey, elaborate a little more on that. But it just, oh well.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the way it is. You know. Oh man. I.
Elaborate more on that, and maybe not 7 pages of a 11-year-old orgy.
Yeah. Oh my. Well, how to put it? Like that kind of shit from like fucking Stephen King shows up in Castle Rock too.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
sort of like yeah, kids talking about like sexuality, if just briefly, and it's just as uncomfortable as it's supposed to be.
Now, see, I kind of
Because
want.
there's this one girl, there's a little girl, like they haven't.
Oh, there's got to be a kid with powers, right? 'Cause
Oh
that's the
yeah.
thing.
There's a little girl with
There's gotta
powers
be.
in
They
this.
gotta throw them at the tower, like, oh, Moth Angel, good job.
You got
Oh,
$50
thank
for
you, Moth
Denmark
Angel. Yeah. We got that Denmark. Well, let's see.
Because
Well,
Denmark Benjamin
$50,
or whatever the
that
hell
is.
they
I don't know how
have
that
in
translates,
Denmark.
but that's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, let's do
Denmark
that.
money also works to summon dragons, so
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
it's better than our money.
oh, yeah, I
Oh.
that's what I want. I don't care. I want a reference, and I know it'd be very on the nose, but it'd be hilarious. Any type of Stephen King live action, I want a train named Beverly to drive by.
Oh!
oh my God.
I want a train that says Beverly on the side, or just be in the background.
Too soon, man.
No. No. I know some people
Aw.
have like just recently found that out, but
Oh man.
What's
So
going on, kitty?
thank you, Moth. I really appreciate it. So God damn it. Where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, there is a girl with powers. She specifically has like psychic ability.
Is it
And
because of the shop?
no, she has the shining.
no,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
shitting.
She has the shining, and they haven't called it that yet, but it's very fucking obviously what it is. And she hangs around with the girl whose last name is Torrance.
Oh, there you go.
And she is one of those things where she can kind of hear people's like thoughts, and it freaks her out, but the thoughts that she can really hear are the main characters.
Which might mean that he can shine too, because people who have the shining, like in Doctor Sleep, they can pick each other up real easy, like shining radio.
Yeah,
He
he
contacts
does.
Danny across multiple states.
Yeah, he fucking. Well, this guy, he does not. He can't hear it, or at least he can't hear it yet. But there's definitely like a lot of shit going on with him. And it's because he disappeared in the woods, showed up 11 days later, and they're trying to figure out why. And in the meantime, his father died. So, but here's the twist. He's an adopted child. and he's black in Castle Rock.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
X is Shining. You want to get sued like Key and Peele?
Yeah, the Shinning.
Shinin.
It's from The Simpsons. He tells Bart.
Well, and Key and Peele, because like there's a whole bunch of the old black guys got the candy, and he's got the shine.
The Simpsons specifically called it,
which Key and Peele can get away with, but
yeah.
They just know comedy and they know horror. That's why I like them.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I love their Halloween specials on Key and Peele.
So. I love the one where they're vampires and they're all dressed up all goth and vamp and stuff. But then I believe Key is like, he just shows up in like his normal like gangster kind of gear and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I don't want to dress like that." And then all the other vamps that are with like Peel, they're like, "Wait, we have to dress? I thought we had to dress. We don't have to." And then they all just start dressing normal.
Yeah. Or the one where they have the racist song.
And then like Peel's all like pouting in the corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, then there's the racist zombies. There's also the one where they're playing zombie extras on Walking Dead.
Yeah, that was funny.
They have some good horror, like little fun skits on their show. So, I like that.
Cat Hermit. This is our dog Rocky.
And he also wishes Gomez a very speedy recovery.
He likes Kit Kat.
He is a fan of cats. Brewster is not a fan of cats very much because our cat is so mean to Brewster. But Rocky and our cat get along, and Rocky likes Kit Kats.
Yeah, Rocky loves Kit Kats.
Oh man.
He's like the middle child. He's always trying to like smooth things over between the cat. Like if the cat's too aggressive, he'll like snap at Kirby like, "Yo, back off." Rocky. And if Brewster's being too much of a brat, he'd be like, "Hey."
Rocky's an animal person where he loves all other animals pretty much, but Brewster's more of a people person. Rocky's pretty particular on the people he likes.
He likes me.
Well, oh yeah, he loves you. And he likes me and a couple other people. But
he's a mama's boy.
He doesn't like a lot of people. Well, Brewster loves like almost anybody, but
nobody likes him, which is really funny. He's the best one. My mom called him homely.
Aww.
All right, you've got a rap now.
I got them heavy boobs.
Oh, jeez.
Dance like dying stars. I got them heavy boobs.
Please try to rap.
Hard to rock a rhyme. It's hard to rock a rhyme.
Meow, meow, meow. Cheers from the land of church brewing.
Boom. Can we do some sync, Dan?
What? I thought we were complimenting each other.
Oh, compliment. Okay, let's go again. Okay, we're ready to rock that beat. Boom. You did the
You ruined it.
Come on, Jack.
Penultima NOK 101 is here to stay. He's got the meow, meow, meow. Cheese from the land of church burnings. Well, I don't know what that means. I'm ferning. No, I can't rhyme, man. It's bad. Word breakdown. Thank you, but thank you, Penultima.
I think you just described rap with bad word breakdown. So I mean,
oh my god, like no,
right.
It's not a skill I possessed. Yeah. These beats are gonna kill you. Why? Because they're sick.
Drop them because they're heavy.
I know.
Please hold these for me, these sick beats.
How's the heat down there in Cali?
The heat, non-existent at the moment.
Really?
Okay. Well,
yeah,
it's muggy up here, but we call summer fire season because it's so dry up here. We usually get some devastating fire every summer.
Yeah, that sounds.
Smoke.
Yeah. Well, Southern California, there actually are a lot of fires in Northern California this year.
Yeah,
but I'm in San Francisco, so they never really come down unless they start here. They don't really come here because there's all that water in the way.
Jack, are you the San Francisco treat?
Yes.
You damn straight. You damn straight.
Wait, that's the tagline for
the man shakes rice-a-roni. I mean,
Jack of the show, the San Francisco treat.
Rice-a-roni. That's the San Francisco treat right there, boy.
Unless you don't like your mother, then we'll do whatever you like.
You know, if he really was shitting rice-a-roni, I'd probably be more in like.
I really like rice-a-roni.
I would buy it more.
Goose. Yeah, we would just keep him around as a rice dispenser.
Ricism. Racism.
It is racism.
Oh my god! So
but it's loving racism.
So you saw Hereditary, right?
Yes, we saw it.
Have you seen Nick Sphere's? Well, what's up, Mr. Cumberdale?
Should you do a video?
My
of
brain
it?
just
Have you do a video?
fucking it's over.
It's all over the place.
It's all over. It's done. It's just like I don't know.
Game over, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Marge.
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
I have a shirt that says that. It's pretty faded nowadays, but I have a shirt that
Oh
says
my God, Large Marge and Pee Wee would be great costumes too.
yes.
We can start figuring out what we're doing for Halloween this
You'll
year.
be Pee-wee, you'll be Large Marge.
You be Large Marge.
Ah!
Hey, I've lost a lot of weight, thank you.
I love that movie. That's like Tim Burton's first movie. I love old school Tim Burton.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
He was before McDonald's basically ruined Batman, because Batman Returns, they sold toys to it, and then everybody took their kids to it, and then it was a very dark fucking movie, Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito wanting to murder children in their sleep and shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And his goon is even like, isn't that kind of a little? No, it's a lot, and then he shoots him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was gonna get Brad Dourif to be the Scarecrow in the third movie, and I think that would have been awesome.
That would have been amazing.
And he basically he got to the point where they're just making the movie to sell toys. He didn't want to have anything to do with it at that point.
Yeah.
And then Michael Keaton was still on board for a little bit, but he kept looking at the script and he said, "This is shit," and he walked out.
Yeah,
too.
it's like, you want me to do this? Like,
Yeah.
you fucking kidding? Get Val Kilmer. He
Yep.
sucks.
I like him as Mad Mortigan. I liked him as Mad Mortigan, but I don't know.
the problem with Val Kilmer is not whether he can act well. The problem with Val Kilmer is that he's a really not a great person.
Yes, especially if you Island of Dr. Moreau. You look into the making of that movie.
Oh
He was
Yeah, it's a
total
documentary
dick.
on Shudder.
He's
I'm
a
not
total
saying
dick.
you guys sometimes separate the people because
Yeah,
there's also
I-
like what hundreds of other people who worked on Batman Forever.
Oh yeah,
And I love Batman.
best
Forever.
Well,
soundtrack ever.
here's
That
the
movie- I
here's
love
the
that movie.
problem
When
with
I was a kid,
Batman
that was amazing.
Forever. I've got problems with Batman Forever. There are things I like about it, but I also got
I
problems
don't like
with
that
it.
it opened the door to Batman and Robin. which
Yeah,
is
because
dog shit.
it started to go downhill, and then it really got out of
But I
control
like
with
that they
Batman
did
and
the
Robin.
Gotham with a touch of the Adam West, and they had fun, but it also, I mean, it was
They
fun.
had too much fun.
Well,
But
the real issue that I had is I find myself going like, one, didn't the Riddler's riddles used to have to do with like whatever he was fucking doing?
Yeah.
You know, like his riddle didn't.
No.
You know, it's like, what are you talking
It was
about? Like that everyone knows that the Riddler goes, "Riddle me this, Batman. What kind of clock has an orange?"
And if he
You
can get it
know?
right, he won't explode or some shit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, something like that. You
Little
know?
riddles in there. But you also have to remember, this was a teenage boy that watched this, and I had a big ass crush on Robin.
And Robin.
He was sexy.
Oh, Chris
the guy-
O'Donnell.
When he
Oh,
was
yeah.
when they did Batman and Robin and there was the big premiere, he was interviewed by somebody who found him at a gas station pumping gas nowhere near the premiere. He's like, I'm not going for that. So,
Oh, Chris O'Donnell.
yeah, for the Batman and Robin one, he was like, that was a bad sign right there.
Yeah.
No.
Mm.
But
Yeah, and I agree with Tinkerer in your chat that I think with these movies, it's better when you stick with just one villain and do it right. Because same problem with like Amazing Spider-Man and a lot. They try to cram in so much stuff, and you don't really get enough of anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get it too spread out. Or if you're gonna do it, like go the long run, like in Star Wars and stuff. Like I'm talking about the old Star Wars, where you would have
The only Star Wars.
yeah, the original trilogy.
Yeah.
You would have characters.
Wait. You don't like the current ones?
I like the
I
current
don't
ones
have too much
actually.
of a problem with
I
those.
still, I'll be honest, I haven't seen The Last Jedi. I want to see it though. I want to get it on a steel book that matches my other set because I'm kind of particular with my collecting.
Guys, fuck, see, Last Jedi's
I
great.
wanna see it. It sounds great.
Well,
I loved the Force Awakens, but fuck the fucking prequels.
Oh, fuck
that
the
shit.
prequels, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But if the superhero movies want to go the route with having lots of characters, give you a little of each character as you spread out. Don't like cram a whole story of like 3 different characters in one movie.
Also,
Like,
with a lot of these
give us
superhero
glimpses.
movies,
Give us like
I'm getting
hints.
the same shit all the time. I can't. I mean, it's wonderful that we're getting a Joker prequel movie.
Is
That's
it?
cool. But how
might
many
be.
fucking times have we seen
I
a
don't
Joker
need
in
I don't
movie?
need a Joker prequel movie.
It'll do
I
great, I'm
really
sure.
don't. I
But
really
there
The
are
don't.
Nicholson
so
one
many-
showed me an origin story, and I was happy.
There are so many Batman villains that have never been in a movie at all.
There is, yeah.
So many
Yeah.
Spider-Man movies. How many times have we seen the
Yeah.
Green Goblin?
And that's
We don't
one
need to
thing
see him again.
I
We
really
can
feel
see
like.
other characters. Like I like that they did Vulture with the last one because that was somebody I hadn't seen on the big screen before.
Yeah. And Michael Keaton did a great job. Because Michael
Fantastic.
Keaton can do a good job in the hero movies.
God, well, I fucking love like the deleted scene where, you know, Michael Keaton's like, "Why?" He's like, "I'm Spider-Man," and then in the outtake, Michael Keaton's like, "I'm Batman."
Not bad.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of deleted scenes, but these aren't really deleted scenes. The fucking end credit scenes in Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah,
He goes
that's
blind.
the best.
He
Did
shows
you know
up in the old
there was
Wolverine
one
movie.
too extreme for the movie? There was one that they were going to have in there where Deadpool is in a nursery. He goes up to a baby and he chokes the baby, and then you find out it was
It's
Hitler.
baby
So it's
Hitler,
like
yeah. Yeah,
So they're
yeah,
like, yeah, Hitler or not, we're not going to show him kill a baby.
Even if it is Hitler, baby.
yeah. Oh man,
Like, those Terminator movies, I love them. Well, the first two, anyways. I love those. But it's like, why didn't he just go back into like kill like their great great grandma, like way back in the pioneer days? Would have been so much easier for a robot.
I don't know. Like, huh? Yeah, that's actually a big question that I always have with those time travel movies. You know, like how to put it. At some point, having tried. Oh God. Okay, having tried to have. I, like everyone, tried to write a time travel story.
Mm-hmm.
I also tried to make a time travel role-playing game.
Oh.
And I am going to tell you that one of the biggest problems that you have with your time traveling anything is you realize, wait, this gives you way too much fucking power over everything.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you
it's
feel about-
so much power, you can't write a drama.
How do you feel about Doctor Who that revels in the time drama?
Oh,
Ah.
well, here's the thing. The thing that's really good about Doctor Who, if you write it well, is you don't have to listen to nothing. Because why do you think they're always going to alien planets? You know, they're always going to alien planets because if you're not dealing with Earth timeline, who the fuck cares?
And yet, whenever aliens come to Earth, they always go to England.
Yeah. Just
Because
like
it's
they would
not good.
always come to America in fucking like 50s B
Yeah.
movies. You
So
know?
I
Always
like
attacked Tokyo
how,
until America tried to get their hands on it.
They
but
have
yeah,
explained in Doctor Who that there are certain things in history that are fixed that you just can't change them. They're going to happen no matter what you change.
Yeah.
There are things that are flexible, so you can
IITS. It's IITS. You know, it's in the script. You
But-
know? And that's
But,
what
yeah.
makes Doctor Who good, is if they are able to establish the rules of not only the episode, but keep it in continuity with other episodes in the same season. That's the big trick. And it's one of the reasons I didn't like Stephen Moffat, because he kind of sucked at that trick.
I didn't like him.
No. Like his
The new
big
one just started
reveals-
up, though.
I'm gonna wait.
wait,
I'm
I
gonna
have it
wait.
on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait because I'm not.
you don't got your hopes up.
I was totally all about the, because when I was a kid, I grew up in England. Doctor Who was on all the fucking time. And to
Remember,
me,
he had
it
a
was an
scarf,
old
and I
people
enjoyed it.
show. So when they launched it back with the Ninth Doctor, like it was like kind of cool and young and a little sexy.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
was totally into it.
yeah. No,
And I liked
Ninth Doctor's pretty good.
And then I liked the 11th Doctor, but Moffat, I just couldn't. He was just a little too weird for me.
I watched a lot of Red Dwarf as a kid.
I love Red Dwarf.
And I loved that. But I remember like some seasons of Doctor Who where the fourth Doctor, the one with the scarf, he'd pop on. I didn't have enough, I didn't watch it ever in enough continuity to know what I was really watching too much. But I remember liking that.
Yeah, that was always on when I was
With the one with the scarf.
Yeah, you're talking about Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Baker. Those episodes pretty good.
Yeah.
There is a famous never produced episode of the Tom Baker years called Shada, which apparently they are going to make into an animated movie.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a little Tom Baker's gonna be fourth Doctor, like or is it fourth or fifth Doctor? Now
He's not the fifth one. The fifth one's the celery one.
Yeah, it's fourth, I believe.
Right. And 6 is Colin Baker, right?
I believe so. I don't watch a lot of
That's where I'm lost at that point.
7th was Sylvester McCoy.
Okay.
7 was Sylvester McCoy, and then 8 was Paul McGinnis. I can't remember the actor's name.
I don't know. After Tom Baker, I pretty much didn't watch it until they rebooted it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I said, when I grew up with it, so it wasn't like in America where you guys hunted down and it's like a big treat. It was on all the fucking time. That and fucking Blue Peter. I mean, in England, we don't have a lot of fucking channels. So
yeah,
the BBC.
For me, like I said, it was like EastEnders or Coronation Street. It was like an old people show.
I'd watch a lot of BBC with my dad, mostly Red Dwarf and
Sweet bitches.
Red Dwarf and Mr. Bean. I'd watch that with my dad all the time when I was growing up, and then sometimes I'd catch on some Doctor Who. But
I was like, Mom,
and
turn off that
Benny
Doctor
Hill.
Who shit. I need to get my Sooty and Sweep on. Go get me.
You gotta get your what?
Sooty and Sweep was a fucking jam, dude.
I remember back in the day because like the internet wasn't so much.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Paul McGann. He was number 8. Yeah.
Sooty and Sweep was this show where it's a bloke and he had puppets. There was a Sweep who was a little dog that just squeaks, and Sue who was a panda, and City who had magic and he was a bear.
Cat wants in.
That shit was the bomb, dude.
But
and Postman Pat and his black and white cat. Fuck yeah.
Isn't
rolling up in the neighborhood, gonna deliver some papers and fucking
his cat's name is
mail.
Jess, right?
Yeah, his cat's name was Jess.
He has his own spin-off show now called Guess with Jess.
I'm totally gonna try and make British TV sound cooler than it is.
Oh no, Red Dwarf is the shit. And Mr. Bean was good too. Yeah, I like that shit. I had to go. I remember back before like the internet was a really big thing of buying stuff, like just barely AOL days. But I remember I ordered like VHS copies of something a little different from Monty Python.
Well done.
So I was like, oh shit.
And now you're British. Now you're British by marriage.
Because I had Life of Brian, The Meaning of Life, and Holy Grail on VHS.
Danny, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Secret weapons are surprise. That's it. Surprise. And an almost fanatical devotion to Pope. Yes.
I'm glad that they're finally. I mean, I'll have to reserve judgment until I see it. But one thing I thought was weird because Doctor Who is not human and he's not a gender, and yet he always comes back more often than not an old white British guy. And so it's just like, why has he never been a chick? Why has he never been another species? Why has he never been an alien? Why has he never been female?
He never comes back as anything other than a Time Lord, and Time Lords look human.
Yeah, but
they're always old and British.
Female
yep, they always have British accents, and don't question it.
Here's what I want.
Why does the Empire have British accents in Star Wars in a galaxy far away long ago?
I know. Well, I love the Thumb Wars joke on that. Which
yes.
is like, I have a question. Why are we all speaking in British accents when we're in outer space and there is no Britain?
I love the Thumb movies. I love the Blair Thumb too. I was like, I like that even more than the Blair Witch.
I monster kill.
I have bad brain. Which leaks into the Franken Thumb, and Franken Thumb leaked into the Bat Thumbs. I love Bat Thumb. Tell your mom that I have her name written all over me. I'm not gonna tell her that.
Well, here's oh god. Franken Thumb, fucking Blair Thumb saved my marriage. Saved my future marriage.
Okay.
We were not dating. We were only seeing. We were living together at the time. We weren't married. and I was playing a game called Lunar Silver Star Story, which was a JRPG that was done in the 90s that they had just brought over to PlayStation 1. And his thing you gotta stand about them old JRPGs.
You're
Motherfuckers
freezing
are
a little bit.
long. Motherfuckers are long.
Take a long time.
So I get like 30, 40 hours into this thing. And Linda's at home one week because she's got like, you know, she's not feeling well. And she's like, can we just like, you know, do stuff? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Use PlayStation. It's fine. A while later, she comes up to me and she is like, you love me, right? And I'm like, what happened? Yes, I do, by the way. But I can tell something has happened.
Something is amiss.
And she's like, I accidentally erased your Lunar save. And I'm like, all right, you know that bit in The Simpsons where Homer's like, no, I won't get mad, Lisa. I won't get mad. And then she tells him everything that's going on. He just sits there and he's like, his expression doesn't change, but steam comes out of his ears. And he's like,
Bart stole the car.
Yeah. And Homer's like, yes, that is a pickle. He puts a bucket on his head. He's like, God, Joe, what the God? You know, like, well, that's where I was. And I'm like, well, maybe I can get it back. Nope, it's gone. It's completely gone. And I'm like, it's okay, babe. It's okay. I love you. And she just looks at me and she's like, my girlfriend must kill. I have killed your game. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm gonna go out back porch, smoke a cigarette, fucking scream bloody murder. And I'll be right back. You know, oh my god. I did eventually finish that game though. Turns out that motherfucking thing is 120 hours.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Like I did the whole thing too, and I'm just like, how many hours is in this damn thing?
At that point it's not a game, it's a job.
It wasn't quite as long by any means, but a friend did that to me. They wanted to borrow my Final Fantasy X. And I was pretty close to the big main boss at the end.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to level up a little bit further before I went to go fight him. My friend said they'd make, like, there's plenty of space, make your own account, whatever, start from the beginning, just whatever. He plays my game, or his brother, somebody played the game, got to the boss, but didn't level my characters up, and I was just like, I missed all this cuts. I never went back and finished up. So pissed. I was like, fuck that game.
Oh my god.
Never played it again. Never played it again.
Oh god.
Fuck that. And I remember I named all my summoning creatures off of from Guar, like the frozen chick that does ice. I named her Slimenstra. There was I named some of them Vlad the Impaler and Yig and all the other Guar songs.
Hey,
that I could
fun
think of.
fact! Did you know Jack's penis is named Vlad the Impaler?
It should be.
Yes. It
Is it named after the evil dictator or the robot from Robot Wars? Or what was it, Killbots or whatever that show was on Comedy Central?
I think it would have to be. I think it would have to be named after Dracula. Yeah.
Okay, good. Halloween decorated champion for thousands of years in a row.
Oh, you know it'd be great if we could we had technology, which we don't. We could make Jack's pants that you either pull them off Chip and Dale style or you pull them down regular man style, and then they play that Guar song, Vlad. But if he we could also get him some cool shoes, and if he walks on them right, then he gets theme music when he's walking on the street. You know, whatever he wants.
You gave me too much of a visual of Jack's junk. Could have been a sailor. It's wearing a little sailor hat. Could have been a tailor. It's wearing a little suit. Could have been a waiter. But it turned out to be Norman Bader.
In my head, Jack's penis has got a big old pentacle tattoo on it, an inverted pentacle. And like a little like scruffy goat beard.
It does have a scruffy goat.
Like
beard.
a little bit of hair, like in a beard, like his, just below the head of it.
And then, like, instead of fur on top, it's got goat horns.
Oh, yeah. Totes has goat horns. Totes.
We're having way too much fun fantasizing about what his
and
junk.
this is why we're not going to get invited back.
Nah. It's Jack. Don't invite us back.
Yeah. I'll invite
I think
you.
this would get us kicked off of a lot of streams, but I don't think
We're just too
Jax.
dude.
Let Pitt, they can.
Oh, yeah,
they're all
you're right.
grown-ups.
Yeah.
Most of them. And even if they're not, they're like three.
War!
There might be three
War,
kids.
that's
Yes.
right. The classic
you.
lineup, man.
Sick of you.
Sick of you.
Yep.
You.
I'm so sick of you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get killed on stage by Guar this year. So.
Are you for sure going to?
Yep.
For sure?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? That's great, honey.
They're gonna kill me on stage.
What's gonna kill you, Earth Magnet?
I think I'm being fed into a grinder, but I'm not 100% sure yet.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
wait. Oh, seriously? You gonna turn around with Guar for a bit?
No, well, I'm going to 2 of their shows probably, but I'm getting killed on one of them.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. I usually try to hit back-to-back shows because they'll do like Spokane and Seattle or whatever, but I'm gonna get killed in Portland this year, so probably gonna be Seattle/Portland.
Nice.
Do you know I'm friends with Sleazy?
Yeah, you're friends with Sleazy. Does Sleazy know Guar?
Yeah, he knows Guar. He's the fucking manager.
Oh, you're talking about Sleazy P. Martini.
Oh, dude, that guy's got...
He adores me, by the way, Don.
He's got some really cool videos where he does his own like Mystery Science Theater type stuff. It's like a bunch of like license free movies like Crippled Master, the Kung Fu movie where the guy has no arms.
Oh,
and stuff.
dude, I did one of the DVD covers of Crippled Masters. Yeah, specifically 2 and 3. Oh God,
It's Sleazy from Guar. It's not really related to Guar other than it's him, and he is dressed like Sleazy, but he does a bunch of commentary, and you see a little video of him in the corner popping up in and out like Elvira does for some of the full
man,
movies.
I gotta see if I can find this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
For you guys marking out for Guar in the chat, Dan is a huge Guar fan. He's reviewed one of their albums, and he's going to be reviewing all of the Guar movies. He just did Alice in Wonderland over on Horror Addicts, so check that out.
I'm wearing
Holy shit! No, you're totally right. He's on Roku.
Yeah.
OSI 74. Oh, holy shit! That's my boy.
Yeah, there's a Guar channel on Roku.
Yeah. And then
oh my God!
He's got his own stuff too, so it's all
Guar
good.
TV on Roku.
Yeah, OSI 74 is actually that's Mr. Lobo's gig. That's his deal.
He the little person that did all those foreign movies where he's like James Bond and shit.
Oh yeah.
He does some of those as well. He had a bunch on there. I think one giant creature feature as well. Some like black exploitation and shit. He's got some crazy stuff, but it's all.
Let's see, Sleazy
and
Pictures
he has a
After
sweetheart
Dark.
too. Like you wouldn't think it.
His After Dark thing.
For somebody who deals so much crack to Guar.
Yeah, well, that's
He's
why they
sweetest guy.
aligned with him. He could supply the drugs.
He's a nice dude.
Like in Alice in Wonderland, when they go to that party, he drops a plane full of coke on the party.
Oh, they're not here. He makes sculptures too of Guar.
We have some of those.
So we have a couple of them.
But it's cool. I've seen him a couple of times. He's come back. So, fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm wearing my barbecue shirt from 2014 where it was Odoris's Viking funeral. So.
Oh, man.
And I had to fly out there to Richmond for that.
I didn't have the money to go.
I barely did. Sadly, she didn't for both of us. And plus,
Laws was in the hospital, so I had to stay here.
Children's hospital. Nothing
he has
not dramatic.
So he's in the hospital quite a bit.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
I couldn't leave
horrible hospital type thing.
Yeah.
It was a planned trip that was planned months
he
ahead
has
of
to
time.
go every year. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was one of those like, nope, I go every year, and then like you were there, and it's like I gotta take the kid to the hospital.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
yeah,
it wasn't like
usually a couple weeks up at Children's.
It wasn't like he was like in the ER, and I was like, oh fuck that, I'm going to Guar. It wasn't like that at all. So I just want to clarify that I'm not that bad of a dad.
And you came home because you met Adam Green.
Yes, Adam Green was there too, and he hung out with me. It was pretty cool.
Man.
Like I didn't expect him to. Like he did this thing where he had his phone. He had Dave Brocky's last message to him, and he played that for everybody.
Oh my God, that message is so good.
Yes, he's uploaded it to the Airy Scopes YouTube as well for anybody who wants to hear it. But yeah, he played that for everybody there. Everybody, Jello Farva was there as well, and so many other people. It was great. And then, yeah, Adam the next day, he like just came out and hung out with me. It was pretty cool. I did not expect him to do so. Sleazy
I wonder
P.
what the P stands for. Do you know what the P stands for?
Probably P. Penis.
Penis.
I hope so.
Sleazy penis.
You want to know something a little funny? Do you know what the B in Gory movie stands for?
Blood. Boobs.
Dude, come on, you know me. If it was anything, it'd be bulbs. But no, it's a proper name.
What?
Betty?
No. Tell him, Danny.
You tell him.
Stands for Belial.
Belial?
Oh, yeah, like it's from the Basket Case.
Belial movie would be. But
Oh my God.
Only my mama calls me that. So it's a Gory movie. Family name.
And it's funny when we were coming up with your name, as we were on a road trip. I don't remember what we were road tripping from, but you were like obviously in roller derby, and we were trying to think up of names from you. And Scary Moon Zombie was at one point a pitch, and that led to like a Scary B movie, and then
Malice Cooper was at 1.1.
Yeah.
Malice Cooper. Oh, that's pretty good.
And then, but Scary B movie turned into Gory B movie.
Yep.
That's what you settled on. So.
Actually, the original pitch was because I was going to do like a new thing. My son was like 4 when I started roller derby. I was like, I want to see that he's marketing out for turtles pretty hardcore. So I was trying to come up with like a Ninja Turtle theme one. I told my son, he's like, Mom, they're going to eat you alive. You are
you gotta have a
nice.
Scary name.
So he's like, why don't you be Killer Mommy and you can be covered in blood and then you'll scare them. And I was like, well, Killer Mommy's kind of a dumb name. But I like where you're going with this kid.
Because before that, I came up with a Prima Donatello for you.
Yeah.
Which you gave it to someone else, and she did a pretty good job with it. Prima Donatello.
Oh.
But, Now that's...
Sleazy!
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the Gore movies, Jack?
Yeah, I've seen most of them.
Like, Skullhead Face is my favorite.
And,
Skullhead Face, I have seen the most.
Yeah, I'd say that's the most like produced, like where they made it an actual film as much as they could.
Yeah,
I keep trying to get Jay from Bloodbath to review Bloodbath and Beyond.
He wasn't even sure.
I haven't seen that one actually.
Good. It's kind of like Jerry Springer.
Well, no, that's it's sleazy one.
Oh wait, no, I thought that was Bloodbath. Which one's Bloodbath and Beyond?
Bloodbath and Beyond is Odorous is up for like the best Scumdog award, but then like Scrotum to Moon wins it or some shit.
Oh yeah,
like,
I remember.
They have like a behind the
that was like the Each Hollywood story.
Yeah, where he's like, it's a big interview, and it is, but they show all this like stuff before their costumes looked right, and they're like, that's just a bunch of fucking posers and shit.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
They show a lot of lost footage and shit, but
I think Dan was trying to test me when we first started dating. I was familiar with gore, but not like obviously like super into it like him. So first date we watched like Summer Party Massacre, and then like Dead Girl, and then Link, Master of Fire, and a lot of gore movies. And I think he'd be like, "So you like this one? Yeah, we're good. I think it was a test."
Well,
looking back.
So a lot of my relationships didn't last too long because, like, it started off great, but then I start showing them what I like to watch, and then they're like, okay.
I made you watch every season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, it was mutual. You tested me as well.
I wasn't going to fucking be with somebody who did like Buffy. Fuck that shit.
And I ended up liking Buffy. I did not know what Buffy the Vampire Slayer was going to be like. I thought it was going to be like a more sitcom-y, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, with like the little talking cat, and like... That'd be like a laugh track or some shit. That's how I, for some reason, thought Buffy was.
And you were wrong.
Very wrong.
Amazing.
Pleasantly wrong, too. It ended up being good. Because, I don't know, it was on the WB, and I was like, what's on the WB? Dawson's Creek, Seventh Heaven. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, God. Yeah.
The first thing on the WB that I didn't mind watching and I actually thought was funny was the Oblongs.
Like, oh, yeah.
It only went one season, but I thought that was pretty cool. And then, later...
Go on.
Later, when she showed me Angel and the puppet, the Happy Time, like, the puppet episodes... Yeah,
Smile Time!
And I noticed in his videos that Guru has a psych one.
Now...
He does. He does.
Long before I met
Look at his wee little boots.
His little boots, yeah. They got a little traction
his
on them.
His wee little boots.
Yeah,
Puppet Man.
I put loads of that Nancy Boy hair gel in his hair for him.
But yeah, way before I met Gory, I actually was introduced to at least Angel. I didn't know this at the time. It was like a rerun on TNT or some shit, but I was baked out of my mind. And just watching like whatever on TNT. Monster Vision was back then, so was WCW Nitro. Shit that I watched. But Angel came on, but I didn't know what Angel was. I didn't know what Buffy was. And it was the Smile Time one, and I was so stoned. I like told all my friends about it, and they're like, but none of them knew what Angel or Buffy was either. So I was like, what the fuck was that I was watching last night? And when we finally get around to watching that episode of Angel, I'm like, I've seen this before. Holy fucking hell. Like one of those things that like it's part of your past that you like you tell people, but they don't know what it is. They're no help. And you like you never think you're gonna see it or know about it again, but then you finally do. So that was crazy. But yeah, I was stoned out of my mind. I'm like, what? Is a vampire puppet? What's going on here? Why? This is the coolest thing ever, but I didn't get what it was. And then, like completely out of the context of the universe
And
of
now,
Angel and Buffy. So.
We'll have Happy Time Murders to watch.
Yes, that's coming out soon.
Oh man, Happy Time Murders.
That's great, huh?
Yeah.
At least the killer puppet.
Killer puppet movie. I'm kind of into that.
I love me some puppets. You know Danny's afraid of puppets?
Muppets are pretty creepy, I have to say.
I fucking love me some. Like,
but I'm not
tell
talking.
me something's got puppets. I heard about Manos the Hands of Felt, and I was like, fucking take my money.
Yeah, Manos the Hands of Felt.
Fuck yeah, I love
puppet retelling of Manos the Hands of Fate.
It's so good. Jack, it's so fucking good. I wish I had a poster, because I would just like bring you and the Countess and Guru over and be like, fuck it, we're watching Manos the Hands of Felt.
It's not out for everyone yet, but we saw Manos the Return. There is the sequel that came out this year.
Oh my god, how is that?
It's actually pretty good.
The daughter from the little girl from the original, she's the main character now, all grown up.
Oh my god.
And the master, sadly, he passed away, but right before he passed away, they did film him, so he is in it as well.
Yeah.
And he's very creepy.
What about Torgo?
He is, but that Torgo died very shortly after the original Manos.
It's a different Torgo.
And he's good.
But
he actually acts his fucking pants off. If you look down and you're like, where the fuck are your pants? Oh, that's right. You acted them off, dude.
Oh, man.
His disformed legs. You know, Torgo was supposed to originally be, what are those ghost
He's supposed to be a
from, like,
satyr. Yeah, he's supposed to be a satyr.
That's why he had that, but then they're like, nah, and they just kept his weird bulky legs for no reason. Like, he's just deformed, and that's creepy enough, right?
Yeah, big knees, go with it. Ah, you know.
Jack, is that like a role-playing thing in your background?
It is.
Cool.
It is a role-playing
I've been
thing in my
looking at that.
background. Yeah, like I've been working on a game. I've actually been scribbling down like notes. Someone was like, "Is someone clicking a pen?" I'm like, "Yeah," because like occasionally I get an idea and I just write it down. Do you remember an RPG called Shadowrun?
Yes, I do. I never played it though, and I remember because I had friends who played it.
Yeah. Okay. So I was looking for like a kind of a long-term creative project to work on, and oh god, and something else happened, but I can't tell you what that is. So I ended up, for my own sake, I decided that I was going to rewrite the Shadowrun game system because I hate the latest version of it. It's one of those like, wow, so let me get this straight. You thought that what this game system needed was another statistic? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, no, you gotta streamline that shit. Like, come on, this is 5th edition. This is a 5th time around the fucking block. Let's fucking, can we get this right? I am so tired of like having to do math. like this level of fucking math. Like, come on. It takes forever, and it kind of detracts from the coolness of the setting if you're constantly going, oh my fucking god, like everyone's waiting around because they just waiting for something to fucking happen. I'll blow some shit up, man.
Yeah.
And I was thinking for a long time, well, maybe I want to get back into, professional game design. You know, I did a little of it before in the 90s, like, so I was like, see how it goes. But one of the things I have realized that I really don't like doing, I really actually kind of, I have had a lot of stupid arguments with a lot of game designers. And but when I mean stupid, I mean, oh my fucking god, you really don't get this, do you? Like, I make my pitch, and then I'm sitting around, and it's like a table of like the most neckbeards
Okay.
like you've ever seen, and they're like, well, I don't know, I think it gives the player too much power. And I'm like, you can't give the player too much power. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're the game master. Game ends if you say so. That's all the fucking power. You can end the simulation at will just by not showing up.
So, as somebody who's run a lot of games, you don't want to pull that. And then the hand of God came down, you're all dead.
Yeah. You don't want to do that, but the problem...
you can.
Yeah, but you can. The problem is not the level of power that
But
the players
I feel you're saying, like, someone can say, I want to do this, and you can be like, you can. Sorry.
Yeah. You just can't. I'm sorry, no. Like, you are the final arbiter. The game master is the final arbiter of what happens in the fucking game. So I'm like, so the problem, we don't need to curtail the player's power. And there was this whole, now we're getting into like some deep game theory, like fucking shit here. Not the show, but like actual like game theory.
That's just a theory.
A game.
Yeah.
A Jackula theory.
And if I want to play
theory, you know, but no. Okay, so there's this whole bunch of games that were like, well, we need to limit the power of the game master. And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? You don't need to limit the power of the fucking game master. You know,
he's
because
the game
you
master.
he's the game master. You need the game master to keep things interesting. You know, like, it's really important that you have the guy who's like, all right, you're just fighting Orcus now. Or a Gorgon shows up. Surprise! You know, like, because that's fun. That's entertaining. And people are showing me all these game systems like Spirit of the Century and Burning Wheel and a bunch of those. I'm just like, dude, no.
I liked it. It was a really simple setup, and it worked really well, especially when you're trying to introduce people who haven't played like D&D or haven't been gaming for a long time. Eden Studios did some great stuff with their Buffy games, with Evil Dead ones.
Yeah, but nothing beats the pureness of the Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, yeah.
There is yon dungeon. Inside is yon dragon.
Jack, I had an idea.
Yeah.
So check this out. So Danny has never actually played a tabletop game.
Not very long.
And
I mean, let's count Dragon. If you count Dragon Quest, the one that had the cool video.
Okay,
game
you're a virgin. Anyhow,
that's not a real role-playing game.
I know. It's like way watered down.
A lot of our friends in the area, I don't think would have the time or would be interested in playing. We should do an online one.
I actually did start Skype. One, but unfortunately, the person who started it, I went there, but then they just stopped doing it.
But you could totally easily
I never finished
Skype.
one, is what we're saying.
Because, we could give the character sheets to whoever's running the game. Mm-hmm. They could run it. We all Skype it. It'd be fucking easy. You can have a dice system on the computer, or just run your own dice and
take
dice.
Away the game master's powers. Let's have the Christians take away God's powers. What
the fuck are you talking about?
I just thought that's what we're going on.
Stop being a crazy drunk monkey and just agree with me.
All right, I agree with you. But you know what? If I want to play a game that has a lot of math, I'll fucking stick to Number Muncher, thank you.
Yeah.
You like it.
Yeah, you want to
make believe.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, look, the math is always going to be there, the statistics are always going to be there. But
I like statistics.
Gotta have a little bit.
Well, you want to be able to hide as much of that from the player as possible, while tricking them into doing it.
Honestly, we need to LARP. What we would do, since we didn't take dice with us, obviously, to go LARP vampire, we would just rock, paper, scissors for fights and stuff.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors. Thank you, Black.
I remember that. I played fucking hella fucking like vampire.
Oh, I played so much fucking vampire, dude.
Yeah, like I was always either Bruja or Ventru.
I like
Once
Ravno.
I was an Nosferatu. I did Nosferatu once,
Ooh,
but the
that'd be
problem
interesting.
is that people couldn't appreciate it.
I played Nosferatu, I played Ravnos, and I've played Maccabian, but my favorite's Ravnos by far.
Now,
I don't play that Dark Ages game.
you probably would have gotten along with the Countess on that one. Ravnos
Nice.
was also
That's my favorite by far. I love it so
Jack,
much.
I think people would appreciate it if you broadcasted this, like Jack LARPing. Get a cameraman to follow you around while LARPing.
Are you kidding? Okay, do you just want to see like
I attack the
2
darkness.
straight days of me screaming at people? Because that's what it's going to be these days.
That you're gonna get so many views and so many love.
Oh my god, I'm just going to be sitting there going
we
like,
never
oh
showed
my
the
god,
video.
no! You cannot do that! I forbid it!
Okay,
Like,
what do you think of a tabletop game? We could pick any game: Vampire, D&D, Buffy. Hello.
We can. This could be a stream.
I have a Serenity game.
Don't like those. In general, I think doing a pen and paper game online would be a great idea. One of the things that I want to do once I've banged this damn thing into shape is actually run it.
All right.
And see how it goes. Because
Well, you could run that on a stream.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I don't like. But I feel like I want to bitch a little bit about those like very limited setting RPGs, like the Buffy game.
All right.
I actually hate a lot of those.
The Buffy one's got a mass expansion because it has the Angel. There's like I think 8 books, considering that game only had production for like 3 years.
Yeah. But the big problem that I had with the Buffy game basically came down to that's the Buffyverse.
Buffy and
we're
Angel.
gonna do
The books go together.
Yeah, but like, what?
It's not big
that's
enough
like,
for
yeah.
Jack.
It's not quite big enough. I have problems with the Star Wars role-playing game for that same reason. You know, and there's a lot more material there.
Yeah, so.
You know, but I still am just sort of like, yeah, but I'm never going to be Luke Skywalker. Like, fuck this, you know? Like,
The campaign I ran is they were in high school. It was a different set of kids, different Slayer, different, you know, I mixed a lot of like 80s horror, like teenage horror tropes in there for like episodes and stuff. And I ran it like a season and I had a website for it too. So there's 22 episodes. That was the full season. We had a big bad, but we had episodic episodes as well. And I had a full arc plan and they could pretty much do what they wanted as long as there were certain key moments that could not be changed because they were part of the arc. And it was really fun. I had a friend and he wanted to come and play and I was like, ah, shit, I don't have a character sheet for you. Here, my random high schooler NPC was Joe School. He took that character and fucking ran with it. And then Joe School had a whole summer adventure. It was hilarious. We had like 3 seasons of that. It was
If you're
so much
going
fun.
to
It was like
do
a
an
TV show.
online
There
game,
is actually
check
a
We
out
made a soundtrack. We
Roll20.
got super nerdy
It's
with
a
it.
free service.
And for you guys that might not know, someone else. Well,
Yeah. Dutch Chairman, thank you, Dutch. And yes, I know about
Flashman too.
Yeah,
Flashman hitting the butts.
I
It was
saw that.
awesome.
Yes.
And Guar actually has a tabletop game called Rumble in Antarctica.
What?
I've never actually
Oh,
played it.
that's right, with the
But
figures.
they have these little figurines that I paid like $9 for this little silver ball sack, which is hilarious to say. But now I look on eBay and those little figurines are like $50 at the minimum. I was like, whoa.
Damn.
I never played it. I do have the poster and I have one of the figurines. There is a book that you get and it's just a tabletop game.
Yeah.
Would have been interesting to check out, but I had no friends that were really into those things, sadly. Like, I think Tony might have liked that stuff.
He's coming back.
He is coming back. But Jack, get your game going. Let's play it online.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
sure.
We're down.
It's
Count us in.
Look, it's probably gonna be a while still.
That's fine.
Because we're at what page are we on? 113. The manuscript is about 113 pages at this point, and there is so much that hasn't been done. Like, them details, man, they fucking kill you.
Yeah.
As somebody who's written a book, I agree.
Yeah.
And I've written a few screenplays.
How's that book coming, Corey? I'm like, well, it's done. But then you go back through it and you're like, that needs to be tweaked and that needs to be changed.
Just polishing it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Mousedon's like, Hobo Joe is like, is there a Fallout pen and paper RPG? Actually, funny you should mention that. It's called Deadlands Hell on Earth.
I was about to say I would be very surprised if there wasn't. So
Yeah. Like, how to put it, the guys that made Fallout and that still work on Fallout, actually, a lot of their inspiration came from Deadlands Hell on Earth, which is a Wild West game set in the apocalyptic West of America, which is great. It is awesome. It's got radiation zombies. It's got Terminator robots. You know, and it's got like undead fucking gunslingers. Woo!
Sweet.
No, Deadlands Hell on Earth. That game's awesome.
All right.
They tried to do an outer space one called Lost Colony. That didn't go so well. That was bad. Because you're just sort of like, yay, I'm in space. Why don't we get back to apocalyptic Earth? I'd rather play like the motorcycle guy riding the wasteland, or they had a class in Deadlands called the Witch, and basically what the Witch is you're a motorcycle riding Russ Meyer chick that has spells.
Okay. Well, as for going to space, it's like every time you have a fantasy thing, you gotta have a sci-fi thing just to get more people in on board. Like World of Warcraft, they have the StarCraft. Just because they have Warcraft, they gotta have StarCraft. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just one's sci-fi, one's fantasy.
Jack, you like to role play. Have you ever played Cyberpunk or Slay? Those both seem right up your alley.
Cyberpunk? What was the other one?
Slay? It's S.L.A.
Oh, SLA Industries. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember both of those. I own both of them. I've only ever played of those two. I've only played Cyberpunk, and I've only played Cyberpunk like twice.
I figured you'd be really into that.
Well, no, I was super.
I loved Slay. I played that for a long time.
Yeah. Well, here was the thing for me. Like, Shadowrun was my jam.
Oh yeah.
Because dude, elves with machine guns. Come on.
That's true.
Jack, have you ever read Grunts?
He would love that.
I have that.
Okay, good. So you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have read Grunts.
That's like Lord of the Rings with a Gwar attitude, with a metal, like Full Metal Jacket type, twist.
Yeah. Because it's about this
Yeah.
little troop of orcs who are just like, oh my fucking god.
They get a stash of marine weapons from a dragon, and the marine weapons are cursed to like whoever has them will become the rightful owners. Since they're marine weapons, they become marines, and they unleash like machine guns on these elves and shit. It's just fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. But like, because in the end they're just sort of like, we're so fucking tired of just dying all the time.
Yeah, like they're not supposed to win. It was never like the orcs are never supposed to win, but like fuck that. We are going to win.
We're gonna win. Kiss my ass.
Have you read
Marines now,
Warghoul?
damn it.
What?
Have you read Warghoul?
Oh, Warghoul.
No, I never read Warghoul.
That's Odorous Dave Brocky's novel. It's pretty cool.
Oh, no.
He's got a song about it too, like on the Ragnarok album, Warghoul, but he like gets unfrozen during World War II, and he's found by the Russians, and he's just this weird kind of humanish creature, but he can't really die, and he like feeds off everybody's death. He joins the Nazis for a while. He kills some Americans, but then he joins back to the Russians because they don't like the Nazi style.
Hold on. I got to correct something. Hobo Joe's saying Space Jammer. No, I'm sorry. It's called
Space Jam.
Spell
You love that
Jammer.
Space Jam shit, dude.
Spell
You love
Jammer.
that. What'd you get for your birthday? What? I saw that video. Space Jam Steelbook, the one that you've been craving all year. I mean, yeah, you got Suspiria, but you know you want that Space Jam.
Are we talking about the one with the hot Bugs Bunny?
Space Jam. He loves that shit, dude.
Oh,
creating
You
furries
should've
left
seen
and right
how
with
his
that
face
Lola
lit up
Bunny.
like a child on Christmas and Girl Gate and Space Jam the Steelbook. It was, I think, the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, aside from my own child being born.
I thought the cameos in Space Jam were really weird, with Bill Murray and then like the fat guy from Seinfeld.
Yeah,
yeah, I thought
It's
it was weird. It's pretty weird.
It's pretty weird. It's a pretty weird fucking.
It's a weird fucking movie.
That was right at the end of my Michael Jordan obsession. He used to be kind of like a tomboy, and I was so into basketball.
But then he was playing baseball
happened.
all the time that movie came out.
I know, but
That's the whole point of the movie.
basketball in that movie, and it was cool.
And then
cool,
Shaquille
man.
O'Neal's in that as well, but he gets his powers taken and he can't play basketball. I liked Shaquille O'Neal's Shaq Fu.
Yes.
Like, it was such a shitty fucking video game, but it came with a little rap CD that had like 1 or 2 songs on it. Where he's
I
like,
think Jack just played that on his channel a while ago.
Dude, have you seen the remake?
the sequel. Yeah, I actually was watching you. You're playing
Holy
Yeah.
shit! That game is amazing.
I have the original for Genesis, and it's shit. But
It's so
the,
not.
the second one shits on it like on purpose. Like, yeah, that game was so bad, but hey, check this out.
Yeah.
It looked fun.
You should have remade Steel. Steel is next, baby.
And then Kazam.
They're
Kazam!
doing Kazam. That looks hilarious.
It's back in the days when we had Shaquille O'Neal as this huge super celebrity that did everything except for free throws.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
He could do everything but play basketball. I mean, he could dunk, but
Oh my God. Yeah. No. Shaquille O'Neal was not a basketball.
no, get him under the hoop and then pass the ball to him. Then he can score. But that's about it.
Oh my God, man! You know what the funny thing is? I can't even remember what sport Shaq actually played. Was he actually a basketball player? Or
Yeah, he was a basketball player.
He was basketball. Okay, so he was basketball. Got it.
And
I barely remember. I remember way more of fucking Shaq's like movie career than I do
And his
basketball.
rap career, like, what up, Doc?
Oh, I remember
Rock?
I remember that rap career. Holy crap! Let's see if we can find some of that. We can find some of that right now.
How much you want to bet that Jack can sing at least one of the songs from the Space Jam soundtrack all the way?
Oh man, here we go. Shaquille O'Neal. I know I got.
Are you gonna
skills.
sing along with it?
No.
Can you guys
I
give
don't
him
know it
20
that
bucks
well.
right now? He's gonna
If
do
it's
it.
the What Up, Doc, Can We Rock? I know the chorus.
Oh hell!
Oh, shit.
Oh!
They bumping that car up.
You bought that car!
You wanna fight, come fight me.
Oh, we gotta turn this up, huh?
Oh, that part, yeah.
See, I get dirty after dark. Got you like Spielberg.
Yeah!
Kick in the ball. You don't believe me. The proof is in
He's
the
so street tough looking.
boy in the hood way before Cuba.
God, I can't believe how young he looks.
I know, he's so old now.
Oh yeah, we can turn this up.
Music, please. I dribble around like basketball. I'm sweet.
Man, what was this done?
Extra tall. You better shut that fool. Shut up, liar. I mean, on a stand.
It's like they
man.
cleared off the set for In Living Color. They told the Fly Girls to walk away. They needed to film this real quick.
on my neck. People walk around like yo, they get charged, but I'm big like a gorilla. 6'7".
I got bet.
I kick rhymes
Like when he got up and he kicked it out, that was a good decision.
like Cheech and Chong do.
And the
You know,
skin.
like Shaq.
I think this crowd thinks that they're like motioning to Salt and Pepper. They don't even know what they're really
Yeah,
in
they
the
didn't even
video.
know what's going on. They didn't even know what's happening. I know I got skills. Oh my God,
Oh,
man. Oh, hold on. But you know, whose rap really must be experienced?
oh.
Who's?
The Macho Man,
Oh,
Randy
yeah.
Savage.
Be a man,
Be a
Hogan.
man. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, let's get that going.
Yeah,
I actually own this album, but that's for the wrong reasons. I knew it was going to be bad as I bought it, but Randy Savage is my favorite wrestler, so I had to support him. I knew it was going to be horrible, though, and it
Oh,
was.
it's bad.
That's the most masculine voice I've ever heard aside from Kool-Aid Man.
Well, originally he was trying to get a metal album made, but then like it just got kind of twisted with the record company and stuff, and they're like, well, you can't really like sing, so he's like, we're gonna pair you up with some rappers, and he's like, all right, sounds good. No, it wasn't. No, it was not good. I don't even know if a metal album would have been good either, but I still would have loved it.
I've never
Actually,
heard it.
you know what? Actually, the one song that I kind of like, despite the fact it's not good, It's not good. I am not saying this song is good.
This one goes out to my real close friend and
What's
buddy,
But
Hennig.
my perfect friend.
Yes. Okay. I was
That
about to
one.
say that.
That one's hard.
What? It touches me because it's about Mr. Perfect. So.
You've always been an incredible friend.
Yeah. It's just Macho Man talking about how much he missed Mr. Perfect.
Kurt Hennig, man.
You know,
Rest in
and what a
peace.
good friend he was. You're like, aw.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard as time goes on and I don't see your face.
God damn it! Like fucking
Now they're
Macho
both-
Man, not just. I know. They're wrapping up in heaven now.
Oh yeah, they
You
are.
know.
I love that shirt/picture where he's about to elbow drop Jesus, and because he wanted to stop the second coming of Christ, because he's like, "Oh, apocalypse on my watch." Macho Man sacrificed himself for our lives.
What?
Yeah, there's this picture or shirt that you can get where Macho Man's like elbow dropping Jesus. He stopped the second coming because he didn't want there to be a rapture. Macho Man died for our lives. That's why he died. He chose to die.
Holy
Chose to
crap.
die so he could go stop the rapture.
Oh,
Yep, there you go.
Holy crap. Oh. Oh yeah. There we are. Hanging out with Obi-Wan and Yoda. Oh,
I need
man.
that. I need that shirt.
Oh,
there we go.
God. Oh,
Yeah, if they were
there
really
it
gonna, like,
is.
if they were gonna edit the whole Darth Vader where they took out the original actor and put the new guy from the prequels in,
God
I'd just rather it be Macho Man.
Wow.
Macho Man was too
Yeah.
much.
Well, I mean, like, come on. That right there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You ever played Skyrim with the mod that turns all the dragons into Macho Man Randy Savage?
I've seen the video. I haven't played it, but I saw the video of that.
Yeah,
saw
I
the
love.
Skyrim.
There are a lot of like Skyrim / Fallout mods that do like wrestling shit.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones for Fallout 4 was a mod that changed the level up sound from whatever it used to be. Well, you're walking around, you're doing a thing, and then all of a sudden you hear, and his name's John Cena!
I love that video where the lady is getting pranked by the radio station. Just keep calling her over and over again.
I love John Cena so much.
She's like, I'm going to kill you. And she's like, excuse me? Is what John Cena told The Undertaker at the WrestleSlam.
Damn! At WrestleMania!
Only $9.99. She's like, I don't give a shit if it's $9.99. Fucking 5 cents. I ain't fucking buying it. She's so pissed.
Oh my god. Oh, like, oh god, what was that other one? Okay, it was another wrestling thing. It was not Macho Man. It was fucking. Nope, I lost it. Oh, The Undertaker. Just The Undertaker. We were showing someone like the most redonkulous moments of the fucking Undertaker.
Oh yeah, he's got plenty.
Oh my god, yeah. And because like Guru's gal she's not a wrestling chick.
Oh yeah.
So if me and Guru talk about Undertaker or John Cena, she's like, okay, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the fuck are you talking about?
Hell yeah.
You know, and yeah, fuck yeah, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You know, he was one of the original guys that had the 5 moves of doom. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, that's a trick so many of
Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3 reinvented wrestling, and that's that's why wrestling is what it is today, with all the spots and everything flipping around and shit. It's because of what they did.
Yeah.
Hogan, I mean, I love Hogan and Andre, but that was just a big bear hug for the most part because Andre was in so much pain.
That was the shittiest body slam ever, but
it was still monumental.
Yeah. The fact that it happened. You know, it's not like, oh my god, he's lifted Andre the Giant, the wonder of the world.
Kayfabe, they already fought in Japan before that, but no one knew about that. But yeah. Still, and Andre drank 7 or 12 bottles of wine that night before he went out there, and he had a back brace in his singlet. He Was in a lot of pain, so he got really drunk before it, but he managed to get through the 12-minute match, and that's a lot for Andre to do, especially at that time in his life.
Yeah.
Andre.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
but yeah, Macho Man and Steamboat, they stole the show that night because that was a wrestling match.
That was a man. It's really funny. It's really funny going like, oh my God, I watched WrestleMania, blah 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 blah. I've been watching it since blah 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 blah, and I'm like, all right, let me tell you how old I am.
Yeah,
I was at WrestleMania. No number.
You were at it?
Just WrestleMania.
Fuck yeah, man.
Nice. You're not that old though. You're like 43, right?
Yeah. I was.
That's
that
not
happened.
old.
Man, you can still be there.
That happened when I was
is
like.
my age.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying you're not old enough to have been there. I'm just saying you're not old.
Oh.
Yeah.
43 is young.
You know.
Thank you. But I was like, what, 9 years old or something?
You're like the same age as Lee from Drum Dums, I think.
I'm the exact same. Well, technically, I'm a year older, but when I turned 1, they had WrestleMania 1. When I turned 2, they had WrestleMania 2. So that's how I
did
know.
it just for you.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not that much younger than you.
Oh, okay. So how many years old you are is what WrestleMania they're on.
Yes, that's how I keep track of that. I wasn't at the first one. I was alive, and I rented my eighth birthday. I lived on top of a drive-in, like the movie theater drive-in. They had an apartment above it.
Oh my God! Oh, thank you, Envoy of the Black Abyss.
Pray to Satan, pray to Satan.
Yes, yeah, but you go in the snack bar, and then there's like an office in the back with steps. They go up the steps, and there's 2 doors. One will take you to the projection room. The other one took you to my apartment where I lived. And I remember I was having a birthday party on my 8th birthday, and I was like, not until Hogan slams Andre, then I'll blow out the candles.
What if he never did?
I knew he did because I'd already seen it, but I was showing it to my cousins and friends who have never seen it. But I would always rent the old VHSs of that. I did go to WrestleMania 19 that was here in Seattle. Undertaker, unfortunately, he won, but it had a shitty match just because of how it was. But he was the biker taker. He was biker taker.
Oh my God, biker Undertaker!
And
holy fucking shit! Oh,
Limp Bizkit had to come out first and do a song to like bring him out. And it was just like face palming the whole time.
Nothing beats. Nothing gonna beat that fucking original WrestleMania where who was the fucking musical guest? That'd be right. That'd be the Run DMC.
Yeah.
Fucking, oh my God, I'm never gonna forget that fucking. They built up that Hogan versus Macho Man finisher. Holy crap, did they fucking build that shit up? That was amazing. Like, that was one of those things where everyone was like, all right, SummerSlam. There's no way WrestleMania is going to beat SummerSlam, but we're going to do this WrestleMania thing anyway.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, so what can we do? Macho Man fights Hulk Hogan.
Which they were the Mega Powers, the team, but
yeah,
they were
yeah, made
Macho
a lot
Man's
of sense.
real life wife, and there was actually a lot of actual heat because Macho Man was very paranoid about that. Hogan touching his wife, and they put it in the script, but Macho Man would still get very pissed off. Like, your hand was a little too low, Hogan, as you carried her away. I do not like that.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and so you're just like, they're putting, so there's that little bit of reality just kind of giving it that edge and just propelling it forward to the point where everyone's just like looking like, we gotta see how this ends, man. Like, Hogan and Macho Man gonna fight for this WrestleMania thing. Gotta fucking see it. Gotta see. God, what the fuck is gonna happen? And history happens.
And yeah, Hogan was billed as the good guy, but if you go back and really watch that, he was a dick.
Oh, he's a douche.
He totally was moving it on Macho Man's woman. Like, he'd come out there for no reason, had no fucking reason at all. I'd get involved in that shit. Put his hands all over her. I could see why he was pissed. Macho Man.
You'd get annoyed. You'd be like, yo,
boundaries, man.
Bro.
Boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, come on, bro. Like, fucking knock it off. You know? Oh God. Oh man. I've got to ask. Like, this is getting into some dirt. But I gotta ask. Does everyone have that one friend who take that shit just a little too far?
Yeah.
Everyone has that friend. Mm-hmm. At least one.
Yeah.
Or they push it too far, and you keep your eye on that friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And it's one of those weird things because you would think that would be me. But apparently it's not. Like, I thought that I was that guy for a while. You know, I was like, oh, like, well, you know, he's the guy who's always creeping on, like, you know, all the female friends. I'm like, oh, I think it's me. And everyone's like, no. I'm like, huh? And they're like,
good to know.
no. Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, I feel better now, but, you know, but
Everybody's got that friend, though.
yeah, everybody's
When
got
we
that
first started
friend,
dating,
yeah.
he made it very clear which one of his friends was that friend, and that's his friend that I'm closest to.
He was that friend until her.
Yeah.
And he's really stepped it up since then, and he's never been that guy since.
We're like you and me. We're like brother and sister. Like, it's just, you know.
Good. You know, but like my guy is not so much. You know,
Ooh.
it's there's
It's not Guru, right?
no.
Because that could be awkward. Because you guys don't
If
let don't let that guy move in.
If anything, the Countess keeps her eye on Guru with Jack. Jackaroo!
Jackaroo! I'm pitching more Jackaroo as a political thing now for the next election. I want Jack to run for president and Guru as vice.
I go for that. We need some political
Jackaroo
change in
in the
this
White
fucking
House.
world, that's for sure.
I'll make shirts.
You have my vote.
You have my vote.
I gave it to Bruce Campbell last
I'll write it in. I'll just write it in. Jackaroo.
I did.
Figure that fucking shit
I took when I did my voting, I took everything very seriously until I got to that last question. I went with Bruce Campbell. I was like,
So your friend.
Yeah, so my friend, he's apparently not
too trustworthy
wife.
in that dependent.
Is apparently is going through rough patch. So of course, at friend's memorial, I want to hear about his side piece. Meaning, no, I don't want to hear about that at all.
No, not at all. Not appropriate, especially at that time.
Yeah. Not appropriate at all. And I'm just sort of like, dude, okay, whatever. You know, like, we're not really talking anymore, but it was like I had to deal with it. And it flipped me the fuck out because I'm just sort of sitting there going like, really? Like, even now,
especially
all
now,
goddamn times, like, now I gotta deal with it. Okay, you know what, whatever, what the fuck ever, you know. I'm done. I was already done. But man, like, I don't know what I am a man who rides the wave of his own libido pretty fucking consistently. So I don't understand what creates that. I don't understand what it is, and I never fucking have. You know,
insecurities.
It's all I've got. It's all I've got. I would never would have pegged him as a particularly insecure guy, but like,
maybe, I don't know.
You know, maybe, like, it's, you know, something's got to make sense at some point.
Some sort of compensation for something.
Maybe. Like, what do you think it was with your guy?
Just the machismo. Gotta collect them all type thing. You know.
I think he also has like mad like sexual addiction.
Yeah, my friend is pretty. He's mellowed out in the last couple of years. And he was with his wife at one point and never faithful. So, but eventually he came clean with all that and he ended it, which was hard for him to admit all this and stuff, but he was living a life that was bad for both of them.
Well, yeah.
So, I also think sometimes when people don't feel like they're trying to get some kind of acceptance or feeling of worth, and they're not feeling like they're getting it maybe from their relationships, they keep going through all these like ridiculous like side you know,
He's trying to fill
trying to fulfill some kind of void.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, God, it's like I could feel that because like
I had a friend who did that with her husband, and I think that's what it was. She was unhappy with her marriage. They had kids. She didn't want to leave. She was scared, like what would happen, you know, to leave. But she also wasn't getting what she needed from that relationship. So she started, like, you know, having all these guys in her life, and I think she was just trying to look for something that made her feel better.
Ooh. Well, here was the thing that I noticed for me, was
We froze.
I've always been like always been like a really like just the worst flirt. You know, like very flirty guy. So every time I was kind of like, you know, tempted to do something, when I would run into somebody, there was always that, why am I bothering flirting with this person?
Yeah.
You know, it's the like, there's always the calculus of like, is going for this worth the Countess being sad? And the answer is always no. It's not worth the Countess being sad, because like if I am the source of that, despite knowing better, what?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to make that right?
Yeah.
You know, like I can't. You know, like things would have to be super shitty. You know, one of those things where it's like by the time a relationship with me gets to the point where I'm seriously considering cheating, I usually just break up.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, I've never cheated, but that's because most of my relationships lasted less than a week, because I'd be like, and I'm bored. So rather than cheat, I'm just going to be like, this isn't working out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, this isn't working out. I'm really not into this. Just bye. Woo. You know. Because it's breaking up is one of those things that like I get why people are so scared of it, but like, you know, trust me, if you just need to do it, just do it.
And that's, my friend finally did that, and he's been a much better person ever since then. But at least that I felt was really, like, I don't know, tarnishing him, like that he was living this lie with his wife, and they didn't have any kids, thankfully, but once he finally kind of came with that.
Well, yeah, it's like it's kind of hard to come back from like, hi, I've been lying to you for X many years.
Yeah.
You know,
And it would get so fucking, I cannot tell you how many times we got dragged into it, where like once it was some girl on Facebook and she saw that he was married, and then somehow, like, you know, his wife would find out about it. She'd be like, I'm coming down there right now. He'd be like, don't say anything. I'm like, dude, don't put me in this position.
Because I'm a wrestler. He'd be at the show and stuff. And then, like, whatever he was trying to get to meet him at the show would tell his wife, and then she'd come to the show, and it was just like, whoa.
I want you to be friends with my wife, but then I'm going to be in this really fucking awkward position where you know that I'm cheating on her all the time. It's like, dude.
And that's where it was like, don't ever do it in front of me, because if your wife ever asks, I can't lie.
Yeah.
It was at least fair.
I won't go out of my way to rat you out, but I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Ooh. Well, that's fun. That's all kinds of fun.
I know that shit, Jack. The closest I did was I did some online flirting a long time ago when me and Gory first were dating. We weren't even engaged yet, but I hurt her, and I felt so horrible about
that. It's in
that.
the past, dude.
So I know online flirting, even it was just that, but it was still horrible. And
yeah.
It's not a pain I ever want to cause her ever again.
No. You'll see that girl ever again.
I think she like moved to Alaska.
Give her the old derby girl left. The old derby girl elbow.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Oh man. Okay, let's just slight
Get away from that.
slighten the tone.
Hey, want to hear something fun?
Yeah, I do. I do want to hear something fun.
Guess who is basically living Cobra Kai?
Oh, okay.
Dan found out that you can, because we have a lot of rules in Washington State for throwing a wrestling show.
I used to
we
do
haven't
it
been able to.
between 2005 and 2010. I used to have a friend and his dad and me would all, like, he was our promoter because he had some money. We would throw shows, but it was so hard with the committee. Like, they tax you on this, they make you have all these regulations. Just to be even the ring announcer, you have to go see a doctor and shit. And a lot of people don't have insurance, so it's like, what? That's $100 a year just to be a ring announcer and shit. So it was really bad. And they do this because when WWE or anybody big enough like WWE, TNA, or whoever come through Washington State, they gouge them for that money. WWE can easily, that's nothing for them. They just throw it at them. But for any small companies like us, we can't afford all that. And they don't like us because it costs, they lose money just to drive all out there and like supervise our shows and shit. But eventually, like through the mayor of Tenasket, nearby town, that heavy boobs, dance like him and some luchadors in Seattle area all band together to kind of legalize wrestling in Washington State. They gave us an out. If you have a wrestling school, you don't need a promoter's license and to do all that stuff. You have a couple little regulations, but for the most part, you can throw shows for your school so your students can get like exposure and learn how to wrestle and stuff. So I have recently started a wrestling school, Cobra Kai-esque, as she is mentioning it. So,
you also got some money from Moth.
Moth Angel throwing more money
Angel,
to you.
Thank you.
Moth Angel's good people.
She is good people.
We've had her in a lot of our chats too.
Yeah,
she's been on my show.
So hopefully I'll be throwing some wrestling shows again soon. I have a couple of students. I was doing that all day today. So.
You're like a ragtag group, like a mom, some kids.
Canadian Jason, who's on our show, is Canadian Jason. That guy, he's the co-trainer because he's also been a wrestler just as long as I have. If you have your big dude. Lols. Probably trained a referee or something.
Yeah.
He's too young right now, but when he gets older.
Aww.
That's been fun.
How is little guy doing?
He's doing good.
He's doing good. He just went to a summer camp for video game making.
Yeah, actually, when you were talking about you were talking a different type of game designer, but yeah, he went to college classes technically, where he learned how to make a platformer. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I don't know how else to say this, but the fundamentals of the role playing game are pretty much the same, whether you're doing it in video game form or pen and paper form. The main difference is that you're allowed to do a lot weirder things in a video game simply because a video game is run by a thing called a computer, which is really good at doing math for you.
Yeah. I enjoy that, but
oh yeah, don't get me wrong, I love that, but it also sometimes makes it difficult because one of the things that can happen is that you can get lost in the numbers much more easily. And in a pen and paper role-playing game, in my opinion, you need to make everything very, very intuitive, because you've got to have people do it on the fly very quickly. And if you don't have that, there's really no game.
Yeah. I also like how it would, the game master, you're kind of at their creativity, you know, like it's a little more, I don't know, human and sporadic in a sense than a computer that is like just kind of like got its program down and more predictable in a sense.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's just, you gotta, they have a different, the way I like to put it is they have a different user interface. With a pen and paper role-playing game, what's the user interface? It's the book. You know, that's the user interface, with the largest part of the user interface being the player character sheet. You know, that's how you get all that information to the players. You know, but it has to be easy to read, it has to be easy to understand, and it must be fast to reference. I've seen so many systems that get bogged down in their, like, I don't even know what to call it, in their minutia.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm always like, no, cut it. You know, like one of my problems with Burning Wheel is they're trying everything that they can think of to not have to roll die 20, because that's like D&D, and they don't want to be D&D. And I'm like, well, too bad. That's what this is. You know, this is an alternate fantasy role playing game. It's D&D. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
Pathfinder got over themselves. They were like, fuck it. We like 3.5 D&D, so we're just gonna keep making it. We're gonna call it Pathfinder, and fuck you.
Yeah.
You know. Now, I think I like the new D&D a little bit better, significantly better than 3.5, but I see 3.5's appeal.
Okay.
You know, and anyway, point is that at bottom, role-playing games still have like those little wonky fucking number generations, and all that stuff, you know. So did he actually make a little platformer?
Yeah, he did.
He did. He made a little
What's
platformer.
it called? What do you call it?
I don't know.
Actually, he didn't tell us what it was called. I don't know if he even named it. Probably did.
He told me about it, but I don't remember what he called it. Him and JD made it.
Yeah, him and his little friend JD, they worked
the
together.
friend he kills all the time on our show.
Yeah, he's.
Did you guys play it?
No, we didn't.
No, it's going to be emailed to me next week because he just finished it.
We'll have more details soon.
Okay, so like you haven't even gotten to like, you know.
I haven't got to see it yet.
We haven't. He's given us some information, but he wants us to be kind of surprised.
Yeah.
So we haven't gotten a whole lot on it yet.
Oh, okay. So you don't know yet.
But
his only complaint was that it was done through like a program where he thought it was really restrictive, and I was like, well, yeah, but they're trying to teach you the basics, so that's. I mean, it's a 4-day camp.
What was the program they were using?
Game Maker.
Oh yeah, Game Maker is very restrictive.
Yeah, he didn't like that. He said he felt kind of locked into a box.
Yes, but we're gonna. I don't know how else to say it. That's making video games, baby. Like you never feel. Like, until you are at that absolute top 1% of the games, of the game industry, and by that, I mean, like, Blizzard, I'm sorry, that's just fucking true.
The box gets bigger, but it's always usually a box.
But you've always got a box, and what you really have to learn to do is you have to learn how to jump from one box to another. And that's a really fucking interesting skill. And the guys over at Blizzard absolutely have that. That's how they are able to take a fucking dark sci-fi world MORG and instead make a team-based shooter around it and call it Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like that would never have happened if someone had not gone, I wonder if we could just do this, because that everyone likes to think that there's a really nice, easy, cozy plan for all this shit. No, there isn't. There absolutely fucking is not. Overwatch did not happen because someone said, I want to make Overwatch. No. That there were two failed titles that happened that make up Overwatch. One of them was Titan. The other one was some game they never even named. Like they were just like, yeah, it's something we threw together in our spare time. What the fuck we're doing, But then someone was like, under pressure, it was like, your teams better come up with fucking something. Otherwise, what are we gonna do? you know, we don't want to fire you because you're all very talented. You deserve to be here. But if you don't ship something, then maybe we shouldn't have you here. And we're like, oh, fuck, what do we do? You know, and that's when one of them was just walking around. It was just like, what if we made Team Fortress 2? You know, oh yeah. That's how Overwatch happened. He was just like, I like Team Fortress 2. Let's see if we can make one of those. What do we got? What assets do we have lying around? What's it? Soldier 76. He's from that Titan. Yeah, fuck it, throw him in. You know, like, and they just built and built and built and built until they were like, that's it. Yeah, that's it. This is the new one. This is it. Overwatch. We're making it.
You gotta produce or you get cut.
Oh yeah. And like the people, Overwatch is the first game that team shipped, but no one there had been working there less than 10 years. Like none of them had shipped a title. You know, I mean, obviously Chris Medson has, but like he's one of the big bosses. He's one of the big boys.
Oh yeah.
You know, so. But yeah, most of the other people who work on Overwatch, this is the first game they shipped. And I'm like, I can't imagine what that must have felt like when that thing finally came out. And like, one of like Anastasio who works over at Blizzard, he's like, oh my god, it was amazing. It was like people are fucking weeping. Like they just like finally, oh my god, here it is. You know, like we have created Mjolnir. You know, like you were the dwarves have finally forged the perfect weapon with which to topple Thanos and all that shit.
That like, type of shit, yeah.
Yeah. And they were just super into it, and they were super happy, but they were all so happy they were all like weeping. And I'm like, oh man, that's great, and they work the. Places that do really good creative work like that in games work the exact opposite way that those that aren't so good do it. I've been in a lot of game studios, both RPG and video game. I never was in a video game as a developer, you know, as a dev or anything. You know, I was always QA. But you could see how people fucking thought.
Yeah.
You know, what's wrong with EA? Well, besides the horrible hours and being treated like crap, like we're just talking about output here.
Yeah.
What's wrong with them? Well, they've got a plan. And you're like, oh, you're talking to me about your development plan. Oh dear. Well, your game is going to be a 7 on Metacritic at best.
Yeah.
Because every other place I went where there was creativity in the air, it's not, oh my god, we got this plan and everything's working, y'all better stick with the plan. It's a lot more like, oh my god, everything's fucking broken, we don't know what the fuck to do. Oh my fucking god, what are we gonna fucking do? Oh my god, this thing's broken. Oh man, get a grip on yourself. You know, like it's high stress, high pressure. Holy crap, everything's broken.
Have you seen any of those documentaries like on Atari? Where like the first few days it was almost like being at Hugh Hefner's house where they're just like having cocaine parties.
Oh my god, yeah.
Coming up with games and doing some coding and having fun, but then like basically Walmart bought them out in a sense. And like the creators of the games and the directors and the writers and everybody, they're not even getting mentioned. You're not even more important than the people who package it as far as they're concerned. It's like, whoa, the party was over. It just it was well, we saw what happened to Atari, so
yeah. Oh my god, the guy when they tried to resurrect Atari, holy shit! Has it been long enough? Yeah, it has actually. It's been 10 years. It's been well over 10 years. All right, so Atari. I worked with a dude who used to work at Atari, and he was chosen to go to the Russia office to do work there. while they're in Russia, Atari gets bought out again. And the person who is in charge of their project gets fired or let go.
Yeah.
You know. And so he's like, oh, okay. Well, what about us? And they're like, what about you? Can we come home now? They're like, well, we don't really have the budget to bring you back.
Oh, shit.
They're like, wait, you're gonna strand us
It's got Apollo 13 out there.
in Russia? None of us are Russian. We're all United States citizens. They're like, yeah, we're just not gonna pay for it. They had to find another guy. They had to find an executive who was on the way out who was willing to throw himself on a grenade to get them back home.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow.
You know, like it was one of those like, fine, I'll pay for it out of my severance package, like that kind of shit. And like it's one of those things where when people are like, well, companies don't no, like a company is just like any other group of people. Sometimes it just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, it really doesn't give a shit. So when people are like, oh my god, free market's gonna solve everything, I'm like, no. Free market will fucking deliberately not solve a problem just because it doesn't want to.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the free market solution is to just destroy human lives.
For the greater of their good?
Yeah. For their greater good, I guess. You know,
sacrifices will have to be made.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, fuck you. And that Atari one was a really great example.
Yeah.
It's like they were just going to leave them there.
And
I'm like, oh my god, like you're not even gonna pay to have them come back? Like you're just gonna
Wow.
be like, well, you know.
That's shitty.
It's super shitty. You know, so every time someone tells me, you know, oh my god, so and so company did X, I'm like, yeah, of course it did.
Don't be too surprised.
Don't be too surprised. I am more surprised when a major executive or a company does the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's way more unusual.
Very rare.
Yeah, it's like usually, not to bring up politics, but usually they just trump it. You know, like that's the thing about Trump that I think pisses me off the most is that he's a dime a dozen corporate thug.
Yep. Just I don't know why anybody's ever shocked with that. It's like
yeah. No, it's all he is.
We saw this a mile away. Like, how did you guys get so surprised by this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Horheim.
Hey, thank you, Horheim.
That's Rasmus.
Yay.
Oh, nice.
Okay, all right. So I dipped my toe in politics. See if we can fucking like swim our ass out of this thing. Have you guys seen Altered Carbon?
Excuse me?
Altered Carbon?
Altered Carbon.
Oh, Carbon. Okay.
Yeah, I heard carpet too.
I thought you said Altered Carbon.
You seen Altered Carpet?
You went some weird
carpet,
shit,
man.
Jack.
Did she dye it a different color? Like, what's going on?
I've done that.
I've tried that. It didn't do anything.
They make special dye for your pubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do?
I guess. I didn't use that.
You can use it for your beard, your armpits, or your bush. I did it when I was pregnant just because, I don't know, I had a lot of hormones. And I got convinced that, like, you know, if I was a baby, like, a big, like, you know, I'd rather it just be, like, a nice, happy color like pink. So I decided to go hot pink before I had a kid.
Way before I met Gore, I was still in high school, but it was this girl's birthday, and she was cool, so I was like, all right, what do you want for your birthday? Like, she's like, I want to give you a mullet and bleach an X on the top and a stripe down the middle of the mullet. Like,
whoa, that
sounds like the worst fucking haircut ever, but sure, I'll just shave it tomorrow or whatever. There's like some excess bleach or whatever. I was just like, oh my god.
On your wiener?
I didn't get on my wiener. Just on my pubes. I didn't do anything to them. So.
You went through the worst before you met me, damn.
But yeah, I had the worst mullet for like 2 days.
Also, this is coming from the guy who at one
Oh
point
man,
had...
dude, I had a mullet you know, it was in fact back in the 80s.
Yeah.
But you know, I had one. You know?
Mine
Do you have
was-
pictures of this?
No,
Probably.
there are like no pictures of me from back then.
I have some video proof of mine, but like I said, I did some backyard wrestling in my high school, junior high days, and it was that. I wrestled one match with this hideous haircut.
You're more likely to find photos of that porn shoot I did than pictures of me back in like 8th grade.
Wow, wait, there's a porn shoot?
Yeah. There is pornography of me out there.
Okay.
You know, and it's me, and it was done quite a long time ago, back when I had a, you know, nice little, like, you know, 29-inch waist. You know, it's not so much these days, but you know, hey.
What was your porno name?
I hear ya.
Oh, I didn't have one.
Oh.
I posed for Blue Blood magazine, which was like a sort of gothy, punky porn mag.
Nice. Or not. I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know what to say.
No,
It sounds.
you could say it's nice. I mean,
It sounds cool. Good for him. As long as he doesn't have no friends.
The only thing I've ever done close to that is I had a friend when we were in college, like back when I was like 19, and he said, in our art class we need people to model, and I'm like, and he's like, and it pays like $100. I really needed $100, and it's just a community college thing. It wasn't like a huge deal. There's only like, I don't know, 20 people there.
It's like that episode of Beavis
The
and Butthead.
only thing that's awkward about it is you have to stay perfectly fucking still for like 45 fucking minutes, and you just get really cold, and the longer you sit there and it's dead quiet, nobody's talking, you just realize that people are taking like brush strokes and like drawing like every little like freckle you have, and you're just like, oh fuck, dude.
Imagine like,
and you see their artwork afterwards and it's all stick drawings, you're like, fuck you all, fuck you all.
like, imagine
wasn't worth it.
You gotta sit there like still, and it's so quiet. Imagine if the model like just cuts their like they fart or they queef or some shit.
I was afraid of that. I was so afraid. I was doing something really embarrassing. I mean, you don't want to move.
You're more likely to pee a little if you're really nervous, right?
It was awkward. It was super fucking awkward.
I remember watching Beavis and Butthead where they like did that, but then like they had to draw dudes, so they ran away. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that, and then I never did that. Like,
oh my god.
I don't know. I never.
And it was
up.
like when I was 19, so I was like pretty freaking skinny. There was like nothing hiding any of this. Just on display.
What, weighed 110 pounds back then?
Pretty much.
Oh man.
Voltron.
Voltron. Yeah. No, that's not that.
Oh.
That's,
There's a blue
Minerva
lion.
X. Oh,
Okay.
well, yeah, but you find the blue lion. You gotta get one. Yeah.
That's just why I thought it was Voltron. I used to have the little, Mecha Godzilla. What the fuck's going on here?
Mega Godzilla, honey.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen Ready Player One?
Oh yeah, is that what this is?
Yeah. This is a little like 8-bit animation of Ready Player One. A little bit more closely related to the book than the movie, though.
Yeah.
Okay. I read the book way before the movie came out.
And if you listen to the audiobook, it's read by Will Wheaton.
Yeah,
really
I actually had to listen to that just because of the Will Wheaton stuff. But
wrong basket.
I loved the
wrong basket.
Wrong basket.
The box.
The box. I loved the honest trailer for Ready Player One where he's like, they just picked like slightly exaggerated versions of themselves. Shit, they should have been like the talking raptor from Jurassic Park 3. It's just Alan. Or just a giant bag of Doritos Funyuns or some shit. It's like, why does nobody have fun avatars in this movie?
Well, I feel like one of the things that fucking like happens is that, look, I think we all want to be vaguely humanoid.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I think we all want to be vaguely humanoid. I
love
don't
the
know
movie.
to what level exactly, but, you know.
Well, and even in the book, it was them, but the things they didn't like about themselves better. And like, I've heard a lot of people like give it a lot of shit. They're like, oh, she's got a birthmark. Yeah, but to her, that's a big deal.
Well, in the book, she was a little chubby as well.
Yeah, and in the book, he's chubby and he's got bad
until
acne.
he goes and works out to do the undercover thing that he did.
But I mean, even then, you can't see what they actually look like.
Exactly.
We're hearing his first-person narrative. So to him, yeah, he's pretty homely, but we don't know. I mean, a lot of people are pretty hard at this.
My only little critique of it is like, everybody who's a main character is just like a kind of a generic avatar, but everybody who's not a main character is a pop culture reference.
Yes.
It's like, well, shouldn't one of them be like
I
Harley
think it
Quinn
should
or
make
some
it,
shit? I was
like the
just
first
to like
challenge.
make it more realistic on that.
The first challenge in the book is joust, and like I kind of when we reviewed it, I was like, I kind of liked that part of the book. I said
I like the
my brother's
joust.
like, how cinematic is it to watch people play joust? And I'm like, okay, you gotta play.
Though my only critique of the one that they replaced it with, I loved the big race. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh no, the race is great. Yeah, with
But-
King Kong in it.
Yeah, and the Akira
But
motorcycle, that was
Why
so
did
cool.
it take them so long to figure out?
Going backwards is something that someone probably would have accidentally done, like within the first or second race, like just because people do weird shit when they play video games. I don't think it would have been that hard to figure out drive backwards. Like someone would have just done that because they just would do that.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Oh,
Like
well.
very few people found the Easter egg in Adventure. You
And
know?
yeah, that's true.
And a lot of people, and there are still people that don't know what up, down, left, right, A, B means.
Contra.
Mostly
well,
Contra, but the
Konami
code.
code.
It did work on other
Pardon
Konami games.
me.
But Contra is the most I used it for. And like,
Yeah. Well, it worked on almost any
Yes,
Konami game.
What?
Any Konami game that had lives and continues. Anyway.
Yeah, like
I remember Contra.
the
Apparently.
arcade versions of the Ninja Turtles and stuff. Because the first
Yep.
one's really different, but I liked it.
Yeah. The actual Konami one is back in the day when Konami was like really good. Like,
Oh, yeah.
those fucking Konami games are great.
Hmm.
You know, although most people from the '80s remember either the Konami arcade games or the Data East NES.
Yeah.
game.
Bad dudes.
Yeah.
Are you the president has been kidnapped by ninjas? Are you a bad enough dude to get him back? That's
Back.
what the text
Oh,
says in
man.
the beginning.
Well, I
am
remember
bad
like
enough.
the game that like fucking lit everybody up. You know, you got time to get ready to get excited.
Yeah.
Fucking watch some shit was Final Fight.
Oh yeah. Final Fight. I like Streets of Rage 2. It was like the Genesis
Oh my
version.
God.
With
So-
video games right now, the one I've been hearing about nonstop every day for the past fucking year is Lulz is marking out hardcore for Mega Man 11.
Oh yeah. See, we're very supportive of Lulz becoming a video game
Lulz is
developer. That's
obsessed.
like his dream. We got him books, we get him classes, we do this stuff, but I still have to tell him and be very realistic about this. You're not going to just walk into Capcom and be like, I'm going to make the next Mega Man game. They won't let you do that. It's
Lulz has 4 goals in life, and they are as follows. He wants to deliver pizza. He wants to at some point teach. He wants to make video games, and he wants to be a grandpa.
so,
That's Lulz's 4 goals. Not a dad. He wants to be a grandpa.
Okay.
He told me that when he was
Alright.
4.
He'll be a dad because
Like,
it's
what do
a
you wanna be
means
when
to
you grow
becoming
up?
a grandpa.
What do you want to be when you grow up? A grandpa? I'm like, that's pretty feasible.
You can
do
probably
that.
accomplish that. It shouldn't be too hard. But
And he loves pizza. He's like, going to deliver pizza. I'm like, probably do that
that'll
too.
probably be what you do while you're in college.
And if you want to teach, I'm like, you could probably do that. And then video games. I'm like, okay, that one's going to take a little bit of work.
Yes.
Video games take yeah.
I told him like that. I'm like, all right, here's Mortal Kombat 1, the very first one. It had 5 people make this video game. Then I showed him the latest Mortal Kombat. Over 500 people made this game.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You will be a cog in the machine, and the bigger the company that you want to join.
Yeah.
Right now, he really wants to join Capcom. By telling him that, you will be a cog in the machine. You will
But
have to
in
work your ass
Washington,
up.
You
we
can't.
do have Nintendo up here. We have Microsoft. And I have friends who work for Nintendo. I have friends who work for Blizzard. It's
Yeah,
possible. You
They're
can
in the
work.
area. He can
And
go
you'll
there.
be
It's just you can't just walk
You
in and say,
want-
"I'm
you
going to
want-
make what I want."
Yeah, the game here's the reality. Here's the current reality though. I don't know if it'll still. How old is he? Like 15?
He'll be 14 in September.
Yeah.
He's 14. Okay, so he's still pretty young. A lot of things could change.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, what you want to be shooting for in terms, if you want to make video games, first of all, make video games. Like, it's one of those, like, get a copy of Unity or whatever you gotta fucking do to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
he
is-
spends
this
all
is-
his time drawing up characters.
He's also lucky
Ooh,
because,
good.
and like I said, there's also a few years before them, but you can make stuff now. Like you can make movies now that you couldn't have made 20 years ago. Nowadays, we have YouTube.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
We can make our skits and stuff that we could not have done as kids. So technology
Yeah.
is changing in his favor.
Yeah.
It's just-
there's a lot of
Also-
things he can do.
But here's another thing. Also, have a clear vision and learn to, if you can, recognize the talents of others.
Yeah.
This can be a big decider. You know, isn't always, but sometimes it is. But I think most importantly, do this. Work for companies that are headed have their headquarters where you live. Meaning, if you're in America, you want to go for an American company. Capcom's bad because that's a fucking Japanese company.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that is not gonna happen.
Well, I even had to explain to him the creator of Mega Man had to leave Capcom because they wouldn't let him make Mega Man games. He went on to make a Mighty Number 9, which was a ripoff, but it was like he ripped himself off. So I explained to him, so I'm like, you don't get to walk into big companies and tell them what you want to make. You should get some experience there. You should work hard there, but then if you really want to make what you want to make what you want to make as your stuff.
Like the
side projects, or just eventually maybe you can join a smaller company where it is maybe less budget.
Yeah.
You get
Or
way more control.
Or maybe you hook up with a bunch of guys who've got like who've got the drive, the direction, and the talent to actually like go somewhere and do something.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's like right now sky's the limit. But as you get older, you start having to fucking come a bit closer to the horizon.
The clouds get closer to the ground.
Yeah. You have to come a little bit closer to the horizon because, you know, at some point, this thing has to be a reality, and that's just the way it is. Like my brother's whole like mentality when he working over at Bethesda is, all right, what can we get done? Like that's him out of the gate. It's just like, all right, what can we get done? You know, what will help us get more things done? You know, what if we do this? Does that get us more things done? You know, and so many projects basically come down to, no, it didn't get as done as well as I would have liked, but it shipped and people bought 11 million copies. So
there you go.
You know,
as you were saying earlier, produce. You gotta produce. You gotta get things done. You got.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like it's really funny because there's this very like it's not intense enough to be. It's not really a rivalry. It's a friendly rivalry that Bethesda has going with Blizzard. You know, if anyone ever thought that like I'm gonna break Fallout New Vegas fans' hearts right now. No, Bethesda barely notices those guys.
Oh yeah,
they barely notice them. You know, they're like, I think they're even gone. I think that studio's even dead.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, like, and it was just like, yeah, no, yeah. It's so fucking. I feel so bad. I run into so many people who really love Fallout New Vegas, and I'm like, yeah, that game's okay. It's like, yeah, but you can do anything with it, and I'm like, well, yeah, but I can do anything I want with a Lego set. I'm okay with that, but that's not necessarily what I'm here for. Like, if I want a model, a really cool model.
Hey, take a dog.
Take a dog.
Too many dogs.
Too many dogs.
If I want the Millennium Falcon playset for my Star Wars action figures, yeah, I could build it out of Legos, and that'd be really super fucking awesome. But I'm not really into putting that much time into it.
Yours. There we go. Yes.
You know, it's one of those like, I play the game. You know, I play the game as I accept the game as it comes to me. So,
Yeah.
There's only so much like fucking around I like to do. Wait, they're making Pillar of Eternity games? What the hell's a Pillar of Eternity? Hold on, let me see if I can find out.
Sounds like a good name for a dog.
Pillar of Eternity does sound like a good name for a dog.
Oh, okay.
It goes on forever.
How about Joe? You just named your
Pillars
dog.
of Eternity. Alright. Alright, this is gonna be a review, but like I don't care about that. I just want to see some gameplay. Let's see. Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, like, this is the kind of game that Obsidian was always pretty good at. You know, these isometric RPGs.
Okay.
You know, like, yeah, that's pretty good. Woohoo! Yeah, no. That's a bit better. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Lives. You know, oh man. Well, I think we're kind of like, sounds like we're kind of petering out a little bit on both ends.
A little.
Yeah, well, we did a stream before we started talking to you, and it's like 4 in the morning.
And we're so glad that
talking to you. Hopefully, we cheered you up a little.
Yeah.
Yes, actually,
Good to hang out,
I did, because I was not going to come on tonight after everything that happened. And then you were like, "Hey, do you want to talk to us?" And I'm like, "I haven't talked to Gory and Danny in a long time."
Oh, that's how we felt too.
You
So
know,
Yeah,
I hope it was complete bullshit what fucking YouTube did.
Oh yeah.
Because I wouldn't have thought that would have gotten it removed from your channel. I got
that fucking long too. It's like...
I know. I gotta figure out like how to get involved in this new YouTube subscription thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No idea how to do that.
Yeah, me neither. You know, it's like there's some sort of subscription deal, but I'm like, I don't hang out on YouTube like I used to. You know, because I realized that and there are many reasons why this happened, but most of us who were doing it, we stopped making the kind of content that we ourselves liked to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I know I did that.
We've done that on occasion.
We've burned out, and then we have to remind ourselves why we're making these videos.
And then we might do a gore review that's not as popular as what people want, but if that's what makes us excited, then that's what we gotta do.
Or just any classic 80s thing that, or sometimes it's like we get all these, like if we just do a reaction video, it'll do really well.
Yeah.
We'll put our heart and soul into a review that does hardly anything, but it's like, we still got to do it, even if it's just for us sometimes, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And
so I believe with the subscriptions, there's an option to make it YouTube Red. And then that would be a subscription.
The best thing I can say about YouTube Red is Cobra Kai. That show is awesome.
Well, yeah, like they've got their hit show now, but I'm gonna be kind of honest. Like I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay like fucking $10.
You gotta follow it up with something. That's over now. What's next?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like Netflix.
Kingdom Creep.
Yeah, it's like Netflix got like
a shitload of show.
Exactly.
I got them heavy boobs.
Netflix even has its own Marvel universe.
I got them heavy boobs. Heavy boobs.
I can't run real far.
YouTube Red, I've liked.
Oh, thank you, Kingdom Creep.
Hell yeah.
Creep. Hell yeah. That's fucking awesome of you.
For Gomez.
Yeah, for the kitty. Oh boy. Well, I think it's probably about time for us to mosey on out. I've had
thank you for having us.
Great time talking to you guys. The Pit, thank you once again. I'm gonna be keeping this here donation thing going until the end of next week, because I had no illusions. I didn't think we were gonna make like $1,000 like in a single day.
It hasn't gone up in the last few donations though, so you do have more than
yeah. Like there's some There's some fucking bullshit happening here. I don't know exactly what it is, but let's at least get it up to where it should be before we log off for the evening. Come on, donation goals. Gotta move this. Bam. Come on.
How much did you get?
So far total, $180.33.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's very
That'll
good.
help.
Yeah, that will help.
Like about a fifth of the thing, but that helps. So it's
Yeah,
a big bill,
yeah.
you know.
It helps. You know, I ain't gonna say no.
Nope.
You know,
a lot more help than you had just a couple hours ago. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it finally looks like I'm trying to figure out like one of the problems I have with Streamlabs is I don't think its stuff updates as well as they would like. It certainly doesn't update as well as I would like. You know, but we're gonna. Oh no, you don't have to give more Kingdom Creepy. Like anything helps, and definitely.
I can never get the Streamlabs chat to work. I use a different program.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. Have you been able to get it to work?
I noticed he doesn't have it displayed there. So
there's a reason I haven't had it displayed for a while. Is I actually gotta get back to fucking with it and figuring it all back out again. You know, because we're a professional organization around these parts.
Yeah, I was doing great with ours, and then today I tried streaming. I'm like, how the fuck do I do this again? Oh yeah, okay.
That's some rust. But it's all right. We got it going.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm gonna continue streaming into, I'm gonna stream a little bit more tomorrow and day after that, hopefully, and because I gotta get that fucking. Gotta make up this cat's medical bills. Poor little guy.
Hell yeah.
We'll share and promote and watch, and
we have an earlier.
We can donate.
We have a pretty early stream tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we're streaming tomorrow. But
6 o'clock.
When we're done, we'll send anybody who's watching ours over to yours.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna be on at 6 for our summer wrap up, since we haven't been able to stream all summer. So.
Oh man.
We're gonna do that, and then we'll tell everyone that come over here and help out with Gomez. So.
Yeah, help out. He'll help with the filthy lucre. You know. Well, all right. So until next time, everybody. Hey, remember, Satan, I love you very much. Obviously, Satanis, Disco Inferno, and keep watching fucked up movies. I love you all. See you later.